Hey, welcome to the conversation, episode 138, Uncensored Minds Reloaded. It's your girl Ish. You know, Nell's going to join us in the second. And as per usual, our boy T will be hopping on shortly after that. But I am so ready for this conversation tonight. We have a dope ass show lined up for you, as usual. Shout out to all the members, all the faithful viewers in the chat. If there are any new viewers with us tonight, we welcome you. Make sure to say something in the chat so we can see who all is here so that you can be a part of the family and a part of the conversation. Make sure to share the video if you haven't done so already. And if you have done so, thank you. Make sure you slap those like buttons, those thumbs up buttons, so this way we can send the algorithms into a frenzy. If you don't have your water or your wine, make sure that you go and grab that so that you can have something to sip on while we get into this conversation. I hope everybody's bellies are full and that you're ready for a good show because I sure am. Nell, where you at? Well, why? Hey, Brenda, how's it going? Tara, Lady B, Diana, Juanita, I see you ladies all in the chat. Shout out to everybody. It's been great weather. We've had some storms along the East Coast. So if you've been dealing with those storms and stuff, make sure to, just keep an eye on that. And I hope that everyone has had an amazing weekend thus far. It is the holiday and everybody is doing those festivities. So you know how that goes. I'm just waiting to see who's cooking on that grill. Mr. Nell, you cooking? You on mute now.
Hell yeah, I'm cooking. And I don't even need a grill to cook because I'm so heated. We're going to get into that a little later. But shout outs to everybody. Welcome to episode 138. We got a great show for you tonight. As you all know, the title of this conversation are you independent? So we're going to have a number of discussions wrapped around independence, our freedoms, a lack thereof if you're not. And hopefully everybody is having a great week and a great holiday weekend as well. Mine ain't starting off too well, but I got life and
Okay.
love. So that's all that matters. We're gonna get right into it. Don't forget, like and share, comment tonight. Hit the like, subscribe bell if you haven't already. Let's turn Uncensored Minds Reloaded up. Take this to a whole nother level. And let's get it popping. Jump right into the icebreaker question of the day. What does the 4th of July mean to you? And what's your plans?
Well, we all know that the Independence Day is, nationally known for us becoming independent and standing on our own as the United States and being free and having our freedoms and liberties, just as you mentioned a little bit ago. So that is the foundation of the day. So, I mean, that's what it means to me, even though, us Black folk still have a long way to go in regards to certain things within the United States, but we are still here. We still are able to partake in those freedoms and liberties and all of that good stuff. But as far as my plans, I'm real chill. I'm real laid back. Like that's just me all the time. I don't need to be anywhere but in the comforts of my own space with my own peace. But I might step out a little bit here and there over the weekend and just kind of, mingle with family and friends and stuff. Maybe get a plate or two or three or five. What's up? What you now? What you got going on?
Well, you already know this typically is my vacation week. Culminates into me finishing up vacation, celebrating my birthday. Was supposed to be going on a nice grand vacation. Um, but the weather and the airlines are not permitting at this moment. Unfortunately, bad storms in the area have caused a lot of flights to be delayed or grounded. And then where I was traveling to, or supposed to be traveling to, was a long distance, and it just wasn't just getting on another flight. It required me to get on other flights to take that. So, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen, and we'll get there. I guess it was God's plan to just saying now chill, sit back, relax. We'll figure it out. Now's not the time, or whatever the case may be. So I'm here.
Oh. Well, we're happy to have you here now. I mean, even though you would have been, hopping on and you would have been in somewhere, far away. Yeah,
Travel. So
travel.
just to give her. No, I ain't gonna tell him yet. Fuck it. We're gonna keep that business to the business to the business. You know what I mean? But typically, what I like to do on the fourth, if I was home, just chill. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
chill. The opportunity to sit back, relax, and chill. Eat a little hot dog a little bit. Make sure it's burnt. Got to get a burnt hot dog. Do not give me nothing undercooked. You got to have a couple burn marks on it, and that's good for me. And I'm gonna chill. You know what I mean? I fall back. I don't do too much.
Yeah, yeah. That's the best way to do it. Just
Mhm.
kind of be on ice and kind of chill out. Get
Absolutely.
to the paper. What you guys doing out there in the chat? What you guys got going on? Any barbecues, parties, anything good going on?
Everybody is taking it easy and chill.
Yeah,
Um, you know what I mean? Falling.
yeah.
What I will say though to everybody out there, whatever you do, whatever you decide to do, be safe. And reiterate those sentiments to your family as well. Be safe. Just when it's crazy. Just on the news last night, I seen something that happened in Baltimore where it was a large barbecue, and two people were killed, 28 were injured. You know, our condolences go out to all the victims of that. But that just goes to show to tell you the times that we live in. You got to
Mhm.
be careful. You can think you're just going somewhere to have a good time, party, mingle with family and friends, and it can become tragic. So, we shouldn't live our life in fear, but we got to be cautious. So, whatever you do, holiday time, if you're barbecuing, if you're going to go see a fireworks show, whatever it is that you're going to do, please make sure that you are vigilant and you're also safe. Want to see
Mhm.
fifth. Want to see y'all on the fifth. Y'all nappy heads.
Yeah,
I see y'all all come the fifth. So that means be safe out there.
absolutely.
All the nappy heads.
Mhm.
I know I'm gonna get some
Mhm.
kind of flack about that later, but we're having fun tonight.
Hey.
All right, so that was the icebreaker question of the day. The fourth, what you going? What's your plans for the fourth? What are you doing? What you going with? What you got going on? So that was our icebreaker question. We're going to jump right into the entertainment quick spin as we always do. And it's been a lot of entertaining things out there. you know,
Mm.
past weeks, the past months, even this year. We only in the second day, the third day. What is this? The third? When
It's the second. You was right. The second day.
I don't even know where I'm at right now. I'm second day of July, and we already had so much entertainment news and so many things in our entertainment world, and we're gonna add some more to that. The City Girls, last week's BET Awards was ratchet and fun. They said one of the best BET Awards in a very long time. Shout out to Tyler Perry. They said for unlocking the vault and letting all the motherfucking ratchets out.
Yes.
JT of the City Girls and Lil Uzi Vert, if you don't know, are currently dating, have been dating for some years now. And she threw a phone at his head. What you feel about that?
I hate to see it sometimes. Like, I know that sometimes it could be just the heat of the moments and, shit just happen and, you know, arguments get heated and words get exchanged and boom, you kind of things kind of happen. You just fly off the handle. But I just hate the fact, that it had to happen because there's always somebody with a camera. There's always somebody watching. There's always somebody waiting for these type of situations to go down so they can get clickbait, so they could just talk shit or just do whatever. And this was one of those moments, JT's emotions just was overcome. She's calling him a groupie. She's cracking him beside his head a couple times with the cell phone. And it's just like, oh, damn, Leslie. And we all know that is Lil Uzi's other name, Leslie. Why you always gotta, no, I'm not gonna say why he always gotta, because we don't know the true story, but word is, that he was flirting a little bit with Ice Spice and he had made did some lyrics or whatever when he was up on the stage that kind of referenced Ice Spice, and JT apparently went to the bathroom and he was flirting or doing something and got back to her, and that's how it popped off. She called him a groupie, and that was that. So I don't know. I just feel bad that we had to see it.
Yeah. But, I mean, it seems that they settled their differences. They've been out and about this past week. The BET Awards was last Sunday. Lil Uzi just dropped the album this Friday called The Pink Tape. And during their press run, his press run from Monday to Friday, they were together each and every day. He had an album release party or a listening party in the New York area, and she was accompanying him by his side. They left at the BET Awards together, arm in arm. So it seems like everything is all good on the home front. You know what I mean? So sometimes just take a cell phone upside somebody's head and
to get them right. To get them right.
Don't argue. Just throw a cell phone at
Just throw a cell phone.
No need to argue. Cell phone
right.
Resets the algorithms. So that's how you get back on track. Little cell phone to the head.
Boom.
We back and forth.
There we
back
go.
and forth.
There we go.
But that's the Lil Uzi for definitely dropping what they are saying is the first rap album to go number one this year. Typically we see always rappers going number one regardless of who it is, but he will be the first rapper of 2023 to debut with a number one album.
Nice.
Charts, and also he's projected to sell at least 250,000 copies the first week. So shout outs to Philadelphia's own Lil Uzi Vert. We support you here in Philly, my brother. Keep doing your thing. Nice. More entertainment news. Brooklyn rappers Casanova sentenced to 15 years in prison, and his girl said she is riding. What you think about that? Ish, you riding? Your man gets sentenced to 15 years. You riding?
Yeah. I said that I would definitely ride. I said I would definitely be taking into consideration how he moved before he, while he was out here on the street. And, as long as everything was on the up and up, I would be riding solidly. Keeping the goodies and the treats all locked away for those conjugal visits. Yep.
Like
I'm riding as long as we good and we Gucci. Yeah, I'm good.
That's a real one right there. That's a real one. And she says she has real love for him regardless of his situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sticking by his side for the whole duration of his term, however long that may be. Now, again, we always refer to you as the resident legalogist here. What does that look like as a 15-year sentence? Does he get to come home in 8 to 10 years or whatever that looks like? What does that legal process look like now after the sentencing has happened?
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure, of course, I think it's New York, correct?
Yes.
I'm not quite sure of New York's laws fully, but typically with any state, there is good time, earned time. So there are going to be programs and things that he can do to knock off, months of his sentence. Typically, it's 8 of the 12 months. So typically they knock off 4 months each year, which could drop significantly depending. So, typically he should, if his attorney is advising him properly, he should be enrolling in any programs that he can. Taking responsibility and accountability, of course, for his growth and any crimes that he committed and how he will be a better member of society. And typically they will be giving him those reduction in his sentence. So if he just stays out of trouble, don't get into no shit, he should be good. And hopefully he'll be out in like 12 or 13 versus, the 15 years. And if he has, sometimes you can appeal depending on the legal basis that he has in his case. There are some appeal things, even pleading guilty and sentencing to kind of reduce. Typically, those are not successful when they go to the higher courts because our Supreme Justices and our Superior Court Justices and stuff, they're pretty firm and it most likely will stick. But he may have some appeal processes going on that we don't know about that could reduce his sentence some as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm baffled here. So when let's role play for a minute. If my life was to end and they said, let's now make a movie about Nell's life, what actor would come to mind when you think of me? I'm gonna give you three choices. Three choices. Holding up one, but I'm giving you three choices. Columbus Short,
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence Fishburne,
Mm-hmm.
Mark Wahlberg. Columbus Short, and have you ever seen the movie True to the Game? Or This Christmas? That is who Columbus Short is. Or even Stomp the Yard. That's Columbus
Mm-hmm.
Short.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence Fishburne. Number of great movies. That name is synonymous with greatness. Or Mark Wahlberg.
Well, I'm either going to go with Columbus Short or Lawrence Fishburne.
That's going with?
Yeah, where Mark Wahlberg? Yeah, that's going to be a big N-O.
So you don't think Mark Wahlberg, a white man, could play Darnell, Nell Gathers?
Absolutely not.
By life?
Nah.
So where are we with this, Ish? Where are we going with this? Because I know people are so like, some people are just like, huh? Where's Nell?
What's happening?
Right?
Right. Well, if you haven't heard or if you haven't seen, there has been news circulating across the socials in regards to this possibility that Tom Hanks is going to actually portray Martin Luther King in a new Netflix film and give an inside look at the historian's life. Now, you may say Tom Hanks is an amazing actor. He has done a lot of pivotal movies and has been a part of our lives for a long time now. But how is it that this white man could play the role of a historian, a Black historian such as Martin Luther King? That's what we want to know. If it's true, how is this even? How did this all go down? How did this come about?
It's ridiculous. And the reason why I say it's ridiculous, not because Tom Hanks can't do it. Tom Hanks is an amazing actor, as we've seen. With some of the movies, Big comes to mind. Philadelphia comes to mind. He won an Oscar for that. He played a role of a gay man who was contracted AIDS. Mm-hmm. He was amazing in that, right? With some other movies that we know of Tom Hanks playing. The one that he was on a deserted island with the ball. What was the name of that? Lost? I don't know, but he was great in that movie.
Yeah, I forgot the name.
What you're trying to tell me, Ish? Me now at 40 plus years old, that Tom Hanks, one of our great white actors, is going to be playing the role of a Black civil rights leader? And we don't have any other Black men who can play this role?
That's what I was getting ready to say. Nobody else. But this is where I'm trying to, because I really was like looking into this. Like, is this true? Is this not? Is this like a hoax? Is this just to get, things stirred up and people talking and beginning the race battle yet once again, which we are, we're doing that shit every other day. Like, you know what I mean? So I just was trying to look into it, and it's really up in the air to know whether it's true or not. But if it's true, I will say it's going to be a lot of flack, because there are so many other amazing Black actors that could portray this part so well and that could do this Martin Luther King role justice. Absolutely.
You know who comes to mind for me? Will Smith. I can see Will Smith bodying this role. I can see Will Smith looking and sounding exactly like Martin Luther King. You know, and there's other great actors who we can get to play him as well. A Denzel Washington, or even Denzel's son, right? Or even a new up and comer actor who's been on the scene, been doing this thing here lately. What's his name? Rotami, or
Rotimi. Yep.
yeah, I can even see him even stepping out there and doing things. So we have a number of different people who can play the role of our civil rights leader, Martin Luther King, other than Tom Hanks. And again, this
Thanks.
has nothing to do with um you know, racism or anything like that. Is just the right thing to do. Like, yes, and I looked into this immensely, did a lot of research, and all the research that I found came to be true. Where they had quotes from the producer or the director of the movie, who was Steven Spielberg, who was another one of our legendary film producers, who tapped Tom Hanks on the shoulder because he's creating this movie, and you know, felt that Tom Hanks could do an amazing job with this, and I'm sure he can.
Right.
But I don't think if they made a movie about Donald Trump, I don't think that it's going to be 20 black men that's signing up to play that role.
Facts. Facts. I'm not quite sure where that logic even came from. You know, no matter how much makeup, no matter how much, you know, spirit he might have or love he might even have for Martin Luther King himself, I just don't
There,
feel.
I could
Yeah.
do it.
No, you can do it. Absolutely.
Sign me up.
Absolutely.
Sign me up.
Sign you up.
I have a dream
Absolutely.
that one day this nation will rise up. See, what we talking about? See, don't have me start quoting
I
that.
love it. I
Don't have
love
me
it.
start to go into the. Have me start to. Whew.
Right.
I have a dream.
I have a dream.
I have a dream. um, Helen asks us, "What is the name?" We're gonna Google this. What is the name? Each, can you Google this for me while we tackle this? What is the name? What is the man's name that played him some? Because he did a great job as well, and he looked just like Dr. King. Wow.
Oh
Each, look,
yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. What is his name? Okay, let's see. Um, some
you know what I
I'm
mean?
googling it now. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all.
So let's watch
David Oyelowo.
that man.
David Oyelowo.
Hello, hum. He would be. God forgive me. He would be great for that role.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't know why. I mean, that happens a lot too when we see renditions of movies that are playing actors, you know, whether it be Biggie or whether it be, you know, Whitney Houston or whatever. They should just always, I feel like, kind of whatever actor or actress plays that person and they do it well and they portray them well, to kind of just go with the flow and kind of stick with them and use them in other projects, because then it just kind of sets a standard across the board. You know what I mean? When they kind of switch it up, it just seems, I don't know. They could have picked him, like you said. He did it already. He studied it. He studied him.
Call me. I'm available. Shit, I could do this.
Thanks.
I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice.
Thanks.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of the skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream.
Amen,
Where's
Mr. Nell.
Steven? Where's Steven at when you need him?
Okay.
Steven, if you're watching Uncensored Minds Reloaded, I'm available.
And get with it.
Available.
Okay. And get with the program,
Even
because I just don't think Tom Hanks is the program.
I
Okay.
even wouldn't mind the guy who played the boxer in Creed 3.
Oh, Jonathan Majors?
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors.
Strong in stature.
Mm-hmm.
He's strong and powerful.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of our black leading actors.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is out there, the man can act.
Right. Right. Facts. They could do a whole lot better with the casting. I don't know. Is Tom Hanks paying for this? And this is why it's like, oh, I'm going to pay out of my pocket, so I'm going to be the one to portray this role. Like, I don't know what it is, but they got to recast. They got to do something. If it's true, yeah, they need to do something.
So that's our entertainment quick spin right there. You know what I mean? Everybody, if you see anything in the entertainment world and you want to shoot it over to us, shoot it over to us. Quick recap on a story that we talked about last week in detail with the 17-year-old boy and his mother. Justice prevailed. Justice prevailed. And if you don't know what we're talking about, the mother and the 17-year-old boy who was accused of murder, all charges were dropped. The prosecutor or the prosecution team of Chicago decided not to further the charges against those two because they said it was an act of self-defense. A little brief background on the young 17-year-old young man who we spoke about. He was an honor student. This young man has a GPA of 3.9. He wasn't one of them, one of those menace to societies. The brother had a brain, and his brain told him to protect his mother, as I so truly told y'all last week I would do the same. We don't condone violence, but we do practice taking care of our women and protecting them at all costs. So justice was served. Ish, any more on that as far as the legal system is concerned and why we in that?
Yeah, so obviously from state to state, the laws are very different. It could very well have been different here in
Sorry.
Philadelphia or whatever the case may
14.
be.
Thank you,
He was
Helen.
14,
14.
yes.
Yes, not 17. He was 14.
Right,
Thank you.
he was 14.
Thank you.
But I am glad that, it was a clear-cut case of self-defense for them. And, last week, I basically just stated, like, let us just love. Let us not be placed in these positions where we have to use violence to solve issues and somebody's life is lost. And yes, that man might have done some things and placed his hands on her or, cursed her or whatever the case may be. But I think that we all just need to find love and peace so that we don't have to do these things to defend ourselves, to place our loved ones and our children in possible harm's way, or our lives be snatched from us. And somebody else's lives is lost in the process, and trying to save your own life. So I am glad that it worked out well for her and her son. I know there has been a lot of people that have been hopping to their defense and to their like a lot of social media and a lot of famous people, personalities, etc., that have been, offering some great and amazing things. So I am glad that this is, not one of those things, that turned out the other way, but, in this positive way. So shout out to them.
One more question. What I want you to stay there one more again in regards to this. So after the charges were dropped, we think she actually went forth with her own lawsuit against the I guess it was the city of Chicago, in regards to that. What do you think about that? Do you think she leave well enough alone, or do you think she has a legal leg to stand on?
Well, I mean, we also have to remember that the media only gives us bits and pieces of the story, and we don't know all that has happened and has taken place. We don't know that, when she was arrested, if she was verbally assaulted or if her or her son was physically assaulted. At this point in time, we don't know what the allegations of the civil suit is. Typically, the police department has a body, they have a dead body, you know what I mean? And it is up to them to try to unravel and figure it out. And it seems like once they did that, they then dropped the charges. But in the midst of that, obviously, there were some things that were done or mishandled. And she's going to proceed forward with it. I don't know how strong her grounds would be, based on not really knowing facts. But if an attorney picked it up, then 9 times out of 10, um, where she may in fact be able to gain some financial, reparations for this situation, whatever was done that we may not know about, because just arresting her, and possibly charging her with that and then dismissing it, maybe she can go on those grounds. Well, I was charged before the investigation was done, you know what I mean? And that could be in fact what she's moving out on. So, hopefully, I'm sure it's a pretty good case, because I don't think many people would have picked it up if it wasn't.
Nice.
Yeah.
So again, shout out to everybody involved in that case. Um, it's gotten so much attention, social media attention, and legal attention as well. It seems like the wheels of justice have turned in the right direction in regards to this family here. We pray that this family seeks some type of help, because I'm sure that pulling a trigger and taking a life isn't an easy thing to do at 14 years old. So our prayers go out to the young 14-year-old boy, as he navigates through life with this on his conscience and in his spirit, and just hope that he continues on the right path. I'm sure he will be. He has a great support system behind him. His mother is very, very supportive and also protective over that, which all mothers typically are. So we just were helped that it works out in the right way. So it's now time. Thank you for allowing us to entertain you during that entertainment quick spin. As we said before, please like and share the video. This is episode 138. Are you independent? And we're going to talk about a lot of independent things within the next two of our topics. Don't forget to like and share the video. And also, Uncensored Minds merch is available. And this is one of the new merchandising things that will be coming forth from the Tailor Made Entertainment family. Make it make sense. I'm happy. As you can see, I'm smiling from ear to ear. Make it make sense. We'll be premiering this July 8th, which happens to be my birthday. Shooting the first episode this coming week, actually tomorrow, with our very own one of our very own, still a part of our family, Miss Karen D. Nell, who will get down and dirty with KD. We'll be on the move. We'll be making, we'll be booking and busy and our time together. So, and also earning them coins. So make it make sense. It's premiering July 8th, for everybody's viewing pleasure. Thank y'all for being supportive
Yeah.
and ready for that. And this is some new merch that's coming your way. Ish always is flexing the Uncensored Minds merch, which she has on the dress. If y'all remember from our 100th episode, we had two beautiful ladies on a show that was killing it in those Uncensored Mind dresses, and we've seen individuals like Tina Renee and a few other people post pictures on our Uncensored Minds family page in their dress. So Uncensored Minds merch is always available. We rocking and rolling. Let's get right into it, Ish. Um, this question, um, I had to make sense of it myself. Why don't we teach our kids financial literacy before making them get a job? Right? And I posed this question to the group beginning of this week. Because this is now the time when we start to send our children when they get out of school to summer jobs. But before we have helped them fill out their working papers, are we helping them to understand what financial literacy looks like? Being in the financial sector, before as a personal banker, as a financial advisor for Wells Fargo for 18 years, that was some of my credentials. Also now working in financing, in the automobile industry. Finances are very important, right? That is one of the lifelines to life, to sustainability, right? We all know credit. We all know making sure that our credit actually is in tip top tape shape more than our monetary money is, right? Credit gets you more in a sense than that paper dollar bill. You being a mother, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's easy, um just as a mother or just as a grandmother or an aunt or a father or whatever the case may be. The first instinct is to teach independence, right? That's the first human instinct, to say, hey, listen, you're going to get a job because you're going to learn, you know what I mean, independence. You're going to learn responsibility. You're going to learn to get up on time. You're going to learn to appear to work on time. You're going to learn to work a shift. You know what I mean? You're going to learn to follow direction and instruction. You're going to learn to work well with others. You're going to, you know what I mean? And the list goes on. That's the first thing that we probably think about when we want our kids to get jobs, is to learn responsibility. But I think what's problematic in that is, with that comes the paycheck and comes the money. And in retrospect, I feel it's important that you should also speak or teach simultaneously with responsibility of having a job and working and learning all of those other things, on how to manage your money, how to budget your money, how to save, you know what I mean? Um how to, if you are going to spend, how to spend it wisely. Because learning those things at a young age, we could have responsibility, but if we don't have financial literacy, then all of that is going to be out of the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, right? And
Hmm.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate a lot on this one tonight. Uh,
Hmm.
I get that, but how are we teaching them the importance of saving money, learning how to, once the money is made, where that money should be directed and how it should be directed, instead of, oh, go get a job so you can then go out and buy these sneakers that you want?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
are we really sitting our kids down today and telling them the importance of what a rainy day looks like? Or are we just saying, go get a job so you can stay out of my pocket?
You're
Or
right.
so you could be a little bit more independent instead of asking me for something?
Hmm.
But then too, we talked about this in detail on the show of emotional intelligence isn't learned. Also, that portion of that financial intelligence seeps into the emotional intelligence arena, because you as a woman could say, you work too much,
Hmm.
you don't pay me enough attention. But again, it's been drilled in our head ever since we've been 13, 14 years old to go get a job because it's important. How do we then decipher that from that? Do you see where I'm going? We're
Yeah, I do.
we're taught from a young age to go get it, go work, go hustle, go do what you need to do to take care of yourself.
Hmm.
But then when we get into our big age and we get into relationships, the very things that were told to us, we're then told, slow down,
Yeah.
stop, you're doing
Yeah.
too much.
To do the opposite.
So where's the balance?
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
Because it's more than just telling a person about how to write a check, how to balance your checkbook, how to maintain, your credit. It's more than that when it comes to sitting our kids down and teaching them the importance of finances and the literacies that go with that.
Hmm.
Because then we have to also teach them too what the emotional side of that looks like when you don't. or the lack thereof. So that means you got to go hard, and it's going to take away from other areas of your life. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just comes down, and it really all truly comes down onto the decorum of the individual that is teaching
Okay.
and what they're going to teach, honestly. You know what I mean? Because some people, were raised without knowing that. And so they stand firm in teaching that, you know what I mean, to the generations under them because they didn't learn that. And then you have some people who learned that and they don't see the importance of it. So I feel like it just really all boils down to the decorum of the person that's doing the teaching and as to how they're going to teach the younger generations under them how to move. And that's really, I think, what it boils down to, because we can say, hey, listen, the importance is financial literacy, but to somebody else, that is not important. You know what I mean? It's going to be the responsible, being diligent, being all of that. So it just really is, all boils down to who's doing the teaching and what they see.
Now, this question is to not just you, but the audience as well. Is are we teaching our boys differently than we're teaching our girls, and are we teaching our girls differently than we're teaching our boys? Because it seems like when women get older, they may not understand the same concepts that has been instilled in these men, or vice versa. Men may not understand the realities of what that woman needs emotionally versus what she needs financially. And how do we bridge that gap? And where is it toward? So we both can be on the same page. So when we do get to those big ages, we understand both plights.
I mean, if you really think about it technically, even though it's taught differently, a boy is taught how to be independent in a different way, and a girl is taught to be independent in a different way. It's still independence. So I feel like they still do intertwine, even though they are vastly different. It's the style of the way we're teaching independence, right? We're teaching our young boys, or we should be anyway, teaching our young boys to be responsible, be accountable, be providers, be protectors, and things of that nature. And we're also teaching girls the independence of being able to stand on your own too, being able to hold down a household, being able to, manage the bills and take care of the children and all of that. So it's just independence that are intertwined with one another, just on different levels. So, you know what I mean? I think ultimately they cross paths.
You answer one portion of that, and we're going to come back to that. But
Mm-hmm.
part B of that is typically the households that we see in our culture are one-sided. Can you say? And the one-sidedness comes with the women being the financial and overall support of that household. So she's, and this is not to take away from all the great fathers out there, because as we talked about 2 shows ago, we have them all. But let's be realistic, right? Let's talk to the single mother at this moment. So the single mother is raising her children, and she's teaching them the intricacies of life. You got to do this. You got to go out here and you got to get it. You got to work hard. You got to get your education. You got to do what you got to do to take care of yourself. Don't let nobody knock you off your square. Be steadfast and firm on your own 2 feet. Sounds right?
It sounds right.
So why is it when she gets into a relationship with someone else's son, that concept goes out the window? And she forgets the same thing that she tells her son, who is a few steps away in that room back there, the same things that somebody else's mother told him. I'm gonna let you answer that, and I want to answer the Mel's version of that. Why we can't seem to understand that, or why we have such a hard time figuring it out. You want to tackle that?
I mean, the only thing I can say about that is that, from the standpoint of, say, teaching and being engrossed in, is that, you know, there is that basis of, hey, I'm teaching my child, or I'm teaching my nephew or somebody, and I'm teaching them how to move and how to operate. But when I am dealing with it in a relationship of my own, it's different, for the simple fact that I am in love with this person. I am emotionally attached to this person, and I am driving and moving in that sense alone, not in a teaching mood, but in a loving mood. So that's where the emotions come into play and kind of take over. And the judgment then again becomes a little skewed because of that. You know what I mean? Because we're looking at it in a different perception of not teaching, but I'm loving and engaging. So therefore I might not see everything that I know is true, or that I know to be true, or how to move, because I can't see it because I'm emotionally involved and attached. That's the only thing I can say about that.
Okay.
What's cracking?
What up?
But we in there. We in here tonight. We
What's
playing
up?
games with it. We diving right in.
Notice
So
the name. I don't see the profit versus the shit starter. I just see the shit starter. So
It's strictly shit starter tonight.
it's
yeah.
strictly shit
Shout out to
starter.
everybody in the chat. What's up, Nell? What's up, Ish?
Hey,
Let's get into it, man. Where we at?
We at this teaching our kids the jobs. Y'all both parents, right?
Right.
And we got two different perspectives. We got Ish being a mother, T being a father,
Right.
and the dynamics of that, and how do we get to a point of, teaching our kids before we send them out there to fall on their face or to make the same mistakes that we've made.
All right. It's always team fuck them kids. so so the problem is that I'm gonna say my generation, or even the generation after me, has spoiled these kids, and they have started that from a young age. So they didn't, like, my kids didn't learn that you go to the store, you might be able to get the change. Their thing was like they going to the store for them. Like, they just start off from the gate going to the store for them, having their own money or whatever. However it may play out, their upbringing is different. So the way that they value money is different. So then when it gets time for them to either like mid high school or graduate high school, they're not used to, you know, the value of money, or they're not used to working for money. So they don't look at it the same. So now you trying to cheat somebody something in the ninth inning. Like, you got to start this teaching when they're little kids. You can't wait till high school and then you want to throw all this at them at one time. So now these kids are confused, and they don't think about financial literacy. They think about my parents. I'm gonna just get it from my parents. That's all.
Janine, I kind of want to contest this statement. They're spoiled because we spoiled them,
Right.
right? It's not that they're spoiled. We've from the moment that technology became our go-to or our best friend, we've done nothing but shove technology in their face. As our generation, as T talked about, our generation right here is the last generation that did not have technology at its disposal as we were coming up. We had to go outside and play. We had to learn things. We had to learn things holistically instead of just going to a phone and asking Siri to pull it up. Right?
Let's stay. Let's stay right there for a second now, because I can remember being a teen, and at some point my mom taking me to the bank, to get a bank account or have some kind of way for me to have an account. Like, I don't know if it was like a children's account, however it played out. There was some kind of way where they took you to the bank to get an account. And these kids today, they got Cash App cards at like 14.
14. I know Cash App cards on 6-year-olds. So you got little kids that's asking for cell phones at 5 and 6.
Oh yeah, the cell phones is
iPhones,
Out of
right?
control.
So
Yeah.
and what's on the iPhone? What's on the Androids? Cash App,
Cash it.
right? I cash app I cashed at my 7-year-old fucking guy. I mean, my nephew the other day. He texted me, "Oh, can I get $10?"
Right.
I cashed at them. So we didn't have that option as kids coming up. We had to go out to libraries and find out information. If we wanted it, we had to go work for it. We understand that, right? But now this generation that we are raising, that's in front of us, is totally different. And I don't blame them.
Right.
Because ultimately we are the ones who was facilitating this behavior because we just want them to buy it.
Can I interject real quick? I don't want to say that I don't blame them. I want to just say I just only want to blame the mothers. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say too. Also, it's kind of difficult. I wouldn't want to be raising a kid in nowadays, honestly, because there is so much to combat with as far as teaching and raising. Because you could lay down the groundwork, honestly, and then they can get on social media, and it could just be completely unraveled. So it's just like a lot of things to have to go against
So
in regards to teaching now.
Each the problem is because I'm trying to teach my son now. My son just turned 19, but the problem is I said this a long time ago when he was like 8 or 9. I used to tell his mom, "Don't spoil that boy. He has to learn a certain way." And when you just give him everything, and you know what the mothers will always say, "That's my only baby. I can give him whatever I want to give him." And that's how it plays out until they get grown. And then now they don't have that sense of responsibility. They don't have that sense of earning. They don't know what that looks like because they never had to fucking do it.
Yep. Yep. You're absolutely right. I got one. And I did the exact same thing. I did that. And I see it. Although he still has what was instilled in him, and he can definitely hold his own and maneuver, but it's hard. Right. It's difficult, you know what I mean? Because I did coddle him way too much to make up for, his father not being around and all of that stuff. And sometimes, we don't see it as a detriment when we're in the midst of it. We don't see that going to be problematic later on down the line. We just see us trying to be Superwoman and trying to be,
because I feel like y'all get blinded and y'all don't understand the line of balance between he's my son and I want him to have more or have whatever I have, and what he's supposed to have at this age.
I would agree. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And I think it's, again, if you take yourself outside of that, like if you pull yourself outside of the situation, you can see clear. Like you can see, like, it ain't no storms, it ain't no rain, ain't no fog, ain't no nothing. You can see it clearly. But while you're in it, it's really hard to decipher those type of things and to think logically.
I don't think that it is hard though, Ish. And you know why I don't think that it is hard? Because it's age appropriation. And some things have changed, like times have changed when it comes to them having cell phones and shit earlier, but age appropriation still stands with, I don't think a 8 or 9-year-old should have like $1,000 pair of shoes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
I just don't think that you should.
Look at Nell face. That's facts. That's facts. I don't think I ever owned. Well, yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I ever owned $1,000 pair of shoes. So for a kid to own a pair, whew. I mean, it just all boils down to the priority.
This is where the contradiction comes at for me, because I mean, I'm always going to walk on the grounds of if I got it, they gonna have it too, and that's a wild way of thinking, especially when it comes to the well-being of their minds when they get older, because they're always going to look at you as that cushion, that blanket to fall back on, because if I don't got it, they're gonna get it from me regardless. But just a couple of comments that I'm seeing in a couple of things that I'm seeing in the comments. And when we talk about financial literacy, let's not just boil it down to, or mitigate it down to just a bank account, because anybody could have a bank account.
Right.
It's what are you doing with that bank account? What is that bank account doing for you? Right now, interest rates are at an all-time, is at maybe a 10-year high. Did you know that? As when the Fed raises interest rates, your bank accounts that have savings accounts attached to it and or checking accounts that earn interest are receiving monies, right? You could have a bank account with $5 in it, but is that doing you any and is that doing you a service or a disservice?
Right.
Other thing, if money is going into your bank account and you're constantly spending and you're not replenishing it, only just when you get your check.
Hold on now, because I want to ask you a question real quick. You said something about if I had a kid, if I got it, my kid would have it too, right?
Yes.
All right. So my my backlash to that is your kid didn't work.
Yeah, he didn't work. That's just the guy in me, right? And it's crazy because I'm just programmed to bring everybody along with me, right?
Right, but you setting a precedent.
I am.
Whereas though when they get older, they're gonna think, I got it before and I didn't work.
Yes.
So I should get it again without working.
And that's where I said, here comes the contradiction within that. Right. And you learn that you're only setting them up for failure.
Right.
You're only setting yourself up for coming and bailing them out every time there's an issue. You got to be cognizant of that, right? You got to be cognizant of that. So that's one of the reasons why we got to pull back on a lot of things that we do. Yes, we love them, we care for them, we want them to have more than what we had. But is that a hindrance or is that a help? Right. And that is not just for kids. That's for adults as well. Right? That could be within our relationships and our partnerships. That could be within families. We can be so giving to everything and everybody else that they forget that you had to work to get it. And if that stops, then who is there to help or who is there to replenish that supply?
Thanks. All right. So my next question would be, at what age did y'all each get any kind of job?
I remember like it was yesterday. Me and D and his mom, Miss Cat, took us to Burger King on Island Avenue. We filled out job applications. I didn't get the job. Neither did he. 2 weeks later, my dad knew somebody that worked at the Burger King on Oregon Avenue. I wanted to start working there. My first job was 15. I was 15 years old, my first job. You couldn't tell me nothing.
All right, Ish, what's your age?
I was 15, got my working papers at 15. Me and my girlfriend, Marsh, we went up to McDonald's on 52nd Street. Shout out to Marsh. I know you watching. You just never say nothing. But we got jobs. McDonald's, 52nd Street. We both made crew chief. We was aspiring to be managers at that time. Just at like 15, 16. That's what we did.
All right, I'm going to say shout out to my pops, man. RIP to the greatest. I had a paper route at like 10 years old. So I'm saying this to say, what age are these kids getting a job? They not.
Let's
not.
Yeah, I think it's like 16 for them too, right?
No, they not. They not even getting a job at 16.
You opened up Pandora's box by saying you had a paper route at 10. Because if we go back, our first job was on the books at 15. But our first job was doing chores in the house.
Facts.
We had to clean the kitchen. We had to clean the bathroom. We had to do this for us to get $10, $20. And we made sure we did that shit, because if we didn't, that wasn't going to put no money in our hand. And our parents was adamant about that. So that kind of set the stage for us knowing that if we did our job, we got paid.
Facts.
These kids don't learn that now. I could walk in to one of my homies' house, and my nephews just sitting on the couch on their phone, while they mother and father in the kitchen cleaning up the kitchen, taking out the they on their own cell phones, hoodie on their head, feet up on the table, they chilling. They ain't got to care in the motherfucking world.
Facts.
They damn sure they damn don't even want to speak. You got to get a head out of them by tapping them on their damn head. But we ain't never did that.
Right.
We ain't never did that. We had to before we could go outside. The room had to be clean. Before you got on Friday, if you got your money on Saturday morning, that shit had to be cleaned by then. If not, you wasn't getting your money. So these kids don't have that sense anymore. Why?
Because our generation and the generation after us, they fell into that pattern of I struggled, or even if I didn't struggle, I want to give my kid the things that I didn't have. And they don't see the balance. They just automatically give. And they don't see, they forgot the structure or the character that built into you, when you're young.
So let's stay right here, right? This question. Let's all three of us tackle this question in some sense, or not question, this comment. Let's go back to it for a second. Half these kids don't even want jobs. Right? Heard a young man say he didn't want to work for the government. Or let's just take out the government and say this young man heard him say he doesn't want to work at all.
I can stay right there because I'll tell you about my son, who I told him one of my cousins could have got him a job at the post office. And whereas though they give you like a company car and all these kind of different benefits and shit, but his thing was, I don't want my friends to see me delivering mail.
Okay. So this is exactly why I asked this question. Why don't we teach them financial literacy before making them get a job? Right? Because everything that is around them is so impressionable. Having a conversation and seeing exactly where their mind at helps you to understand exactly why they feel the way they feel. Now, you may say they're kids, they don't deserve a conversation. They damn sure do. You know why? Because it helps you to understand exactly where they're thinking, and you can help them get to where they want to go. It's our job to help facilitate those dreams, those goals, but also to mentor and not chastise, but also help them see growth. So maybe it just don't want to work for somebody else, but maybe sometimes sitting down and understanding why they don't could help you to see you don't want to work for somebody else, then work for yourself. Create your own.
That's kind of a false reality because they don't want to put the work in to be entrepreneurs. The money's not going to come fast enough. The money's not going to be big enough. They don't even see the value in putting the work in and building your own thing at that age because it just seems like something that's far-fetched.
But then when we think that, right? How many times did the three of us fall down? Right. And the moment we fell, we felt that pain. I ain't doing that shit again. I ain't gonna stay on this corner no more and get shot. I'm gonna take my ass home. That's something that I learned. Right? We've all learned valuable lessons in pain. So maybe we gotta let them experience that.
Right.
To show them that this shit is real.
What is the experience?
The experience of you don't want to put the work in to do something that you said you wanted to do, then that shit's going to fail. And you know who loses out on that? You do. Now you're not getting what you wanted to get out of your own dream. Maybe you spend the block a second time after you fell and you took that loss.
Right.
Because we could talk to our kids every day, all day about go get a job, go get a job, go get a job. But if that's
they want the money, they don't want to do the work.
Okay. I want the money. I don't want to go to work.
Yeah, thanks.
I want the money. I don't want to go to work, but I understand that my job is going to give me a better opportunity to earn the living that I want to earn faster. Right. If I could do nothing all day, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. That's just not who I am. But it's times when I just want to sit up and do nothing.
And Nell, on that same point is, the patience in it. Like when we was little kids and somebody you might have got like a certain amount for lunch money and you saved your lunch money to buy certain things, they're just automatically handed this shit. They
Absolutely.
never had to wait for
Wait,
anything.
no, it's just microwave age.
Right.
Like they don't have to wait. They want everything quick, fast, in a
Right.
hurry.
They
They
don't
don't
know
have to
what it
wait for
means to
anything.
wait for
They
anything.
don't know what that means, and they just want it all now.
How all we are big kids in a sense because we live that same way. We got a lot of people that live that same way. You get money. Let's say somebody is taking care of you, or let's say you put up. Talked about that. You got somebody that's paying your bills, giving you money, giving you whatever. Instead of putting 90% of that allowance that you get, or 80% of that allowance to the side and spending the 20 because you getting it, they rather bought a whole 100 out. Right. And wait for the next allowance next week to come into their hand instead of putting something away for a rainy day, or that person saying, I ain't doing this shit no more. I'm done. Or I can't do it no more because you took all my fucking money, Russell Simmons.
I can't.
So what do you do then? Do you say, thank you, I got my little cut over here on the side because I've been saving? Or do you let your designer and all the shit that you were spending your money on in that instance get you through to the next week? What do you do? We all do it. So our kids.
Yeah, no, that's not it though. We all, us as black people in general need to be better with financial literacy.
Thanks.
But we as parents, we are failing our children with teaching them better than we were taught because we're just giving them instead of teaching them.
Hence the question. What are we teaching? And I agree. We are not teaching them the responsibilities that goes into being an adult. We're teaching them. What are we really teaching them? That's a good question. That's the next question. Teaching them.
Right.
Are we teaching them?
Teaching them shit. They just giving them things and letting them do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Are we
teaching them shit?
Or are we just teaching them how to just go through the day?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that's simple survival mode. You know what I mean? Is what's being taught. Sometimes the bare minimum of things, just being able to survive, just enough to be able to get by and to be
none of that is being taught, Ish. Not even survival.
Not even that.
They're not being taught how to cook. They just put shit in the air fryer. They're not being taught anything.
No. Air fryer. They taught how to order from DoorDash
and DoorDash and Uber Eats. They're not being taught anything.
It's three things that's in these kitchens nowadays: air fryer, Uber Eats bags, and DoorDash bags in the trash can. Ain't no cooking. People not cooking. And yeah, you got some people that's still cooking, but while you in there cooking, are you teaching your kids, your grandkids, and everybody else to cook? No, you're telling them to get out your kitchen. And I get it. Your kitchen is your safe haven and how you operate. But are we teaching our kids, our young people, even ourselves, the survival skills?
Right.
Can we really survive out here nowadays?
Right. I mean, I was hoping so. You see, I said just the basics just to survive. See, like, no, they're not even getting that. Oh,
they not.
Yeah.
Check people trash cans nowadays. You run through somebody's trash, there's Wawa cans, Wawa
But what do we attribute that to? Like, do we attribute
lazy
that to laziness?
Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying. Lazy parenting. But
lazy
what are you
parenting.
doing? Right.
Lazy parenting or being too busy with your own shit that you're not teaching your kids, and you're just sending your kids to school, and these kids ain't even learning the shit that we learned in school. So I don't know what the fuck these kids learned in school. They just in there now. Because if I ask my kids, either one of them what they learned in school, they gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what you mean? What did I learn in school? They both graduated high school, but if you look at the structure of what they learned, I don't think either one of them could tell you like major factors that they learned.
Absolutely not. They learning everything from YouTube. They learning everything from Instagram. They can recite "Rip Me Out the Plastic." I've been acting brand new better than they can recite "I Have a Dream."
Do y'all remember, speaking of that, Nell, like I was actually going along in my mind with you and like mouthing with you the speech. Like, I don't know if they do that now, but
I
we
don't think they
knew
do.
those speeches
Right.
from front to back. Like we studied
Right.
them,
That's
we
why I
did
said
them
they
in
not
clips.
being taught shit.
Yeah.
They not being taught shit.
So that's where I was asking, where's the culmination coming in at of
All of us is at guilt now.
yeah,
Us as parents, us as mentors, us as old heads, us as teachers.
mm-hmm. We all
All of us is guilty at this point.
grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, everybody is at fault because we are raising a generation of lazy, entitled, spoiled motherfuckers who are overly opinionated.
Overly opinionated.
Like, not even, they're spoiled and overly opinionated. They have an opinion about everything. Somebody, just a fun fact, and we're going to move on to the next thing. I was talking to somebody at work the other day, and this young guy did something, and he was like, why doesn't he have any recourse? I said, these young people don't care. Okay. Just look at the internet. These young people could do something 1 minute, get blasted for it, and 24 hours later, there's a new story. Everybody forgot about it. That's right. How they live. They don't care about anything. They care about, you know what they care about? How they gonna look good on social media, how they gonna have a blunt in their mouth, how they gonna be.
Not a blunt. Say the hookah.
They got the hookah, they got the blunt.
Well, I don't want the guys to be hookah in now.
The guys is hookah too.
The guys is hookah in too.
Yes.
Guys hookah and the girls smoking blunts. It's totally different out here. Big fat blunts. I seen a girl yesterday with a big fat blunt in her mouth, and I seen a guy with a hookah in his mouth too.
Facts.
With his nails painted. Where are we living right now? But it's very weird. So you got all this going on, and if you ask them a question, they look at you like you dumb. Right. Who the fuck is you to ask me that? Because you know I don't know it.
Facts.
But face, I'm gonna sit up here and argue with you, or I'm gonna get loud, like as if that's doing something.
Thanks. Now, hopping off of the nails being painted and polished. Did y'all see Drake got his nails done?
Watch it, Ish.
With designs. I love me some Drake, but it's wild out here.
Yeah, niggas gotta chill. Niggas gotta chill. That's what happens when you get too much money and you just get bored and you don't even know what to do with yourself.
But that's bad though. Him, Little Yachty, they paint their nails now. Like that's the new fashion. I work with a couple of young guys that's in their early 20s, early to mid 20s, and that's the thing. They come with their little nails painted.
Before we move to the next topic, I do want to say that as far as my son, I did tell my son like he was like working a little bit, but I told my son before he even wanted to start working, I told him while you're at this point now that you're in college and you have two parents that are supporting you, I told him that I didn't want him to work and that I wanted him to focus on his crafts and to be learning, trades and skills at this time while he doesn't have any bills, so that when he gets older, he has, more things in his brain, to fall back on. Even with him going to school and learning how to tattoo, I just told him at this point he didn't need to work and to focus on learning whatever crafts that you want to learn now while you're young and you don't have any bills. So I'm trying, but it's a hard fight out here. When the mothers, shout out to you, Ish, when the mothers keep giving the money.
It's very hard and complex, and I'm speaking from a male's perspective here, because it's just been drilled in our head. Go get a job, go work, go to school, go get a job, hustle, get your money, take care of your family. And that's all you know. That's all you know. And then when you have to deal with the emotional aspects of somebody saying you're not available to me physically because you're always working or you always got something going on that is pursuing a dream that you're trying to pursue, it bothers you because you're left sitting there like, damn, what am I doing wrong? Because I need to do this to provide this lifestyle that will make us comfortable. And it's a balancing act that is very, very difficult to comprehend and also adhere to. It really
Is it?
It really is
Is it?
for some people.
I think that some people take on more challenges than they can handle.
Mm, what if it's just your normal every?
No, I want to talk about the people who've had one child and
Mm,
then they keep on having more children
okay,
and then they don't have any time to be a parent to these children because they're working to take care of these children. That's what I'm speaking of.
that's definitely
Yeah,
a thing. That's definitely
yeah, yeah. And not to take anything away from them for trying to care
Right,
for and provide for their children, but you're right in the sense of time
right.
and timing. It doesn't leave much time because once they come home and feed and clean and check homework and all of that, it's not much time and room for implementing lessons and
Right.
plans and all of that stuff. So yeah, I can see where that could be
But where we
difficult.
at now? What's next? What tickles your fancy?
entitlement versus appreciation.
Oh, okay.
Entitlement versus appreciation. What's the first word? And I'm gonna ask y'all two to answer. I'm gonna ask y'all two to take one word apiece. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear appreciation, Ish?
The first thing that comes to my mind when I hear appreciation.
Or not even the first thing, maybe the first sentence, because that could be lengthy. What's the first parable that comes to your mind when you think of appreciation?
Allowing an opportunity to digest everything that is being given.
All right, that's your answer. T, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word entitlement?
I love this word. So this is real simple for me. Take the en off and take the ment off, and let's just stay with title because that's where entitlement comes from. Whatever the title you have to somebody. So if you're somebody's son or if you're somebody's partner or however it may be, people live on their titles, which gives them the entitlement. That's why I always say I will treat everybody, specifically the same. You don't get treated a different upgrade because of your title. I'm not going to tell my mom that I'm with my girl and then one of y'all got to sit. Whoever was fucking sitting in the front first was sitting in the front first. We're not doing this musical chairs because of your title shit. Whoever was sitting in the front is sitting in the front. The entitlement comes off the title of which you are to that person.
Mm-hmm.
So with the title, what happens with appreciation? How does appreciation um intertwine with entitlement?
Right. It runs neck and neck because whatever your title is, I might feel like I don't have to show you appreciation. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm your son and you're my father, most of these kids, or maybe even some of us, look at it like you're supposed to do this because you are my father, because of the title. So it always runs neck and neck, the appreciation, even with boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband and wife. You lose appreciation and you rely on the title of you're supposed to do this because of your title.
So is
Mm-hmm.
there such thing as so 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 does appreciation live in that?
No, it gets lost in it.
That's what I was going to say. It kind of fades away. Yeah.
Right.
But it's still needed. Are you
Right,
saying?
right. It's definitely
Yeah, it's
needed.
needed,
They
but
just lost it.
doesn't mean that they're going to be able to grasp and indulge in the basis of
Right.
appreciation.
So everybody has to understand that appreciation looks different to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
right? Each definition of appreciation is going to look different than Nell's definition of what appreciation looks like to them.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your duty to understand your mate's definition of what appreciation is so you get it right each and every time? Or are you going off of what appreciation looks like?
That's what I'm saying. Now that is your duty, but people don't take that duty.
Right. Right. Because I can know what your appreciation is. Like,
Right.
I mean, I can know what appreciation means to you, right? We could have discussed it, we could have outlined it, you could have even checked me 1 or 2 times, and you could have said each X, Y, and Z, right? But it's going to be up to me to then adhere to your way of appreciation versus my way. And some people just don't want to do that. They want to stick with their way. And
I'll simplify this and say, Nell, do you think that you show your parents the appreciation that you should?
If we're speaking from an ignorance standpoint, right? That word ignorance, then we say yes. Yes, I show my parents the appreciation they deserve. I tell them thank you, I love you. My behaviors in public, my drive in life should be of a great example of my appreciation from my parents. But if you probably ask them, they'll probably say it's lacking in some areas, right? My mother could say, you don't call me every 5 minutes. You don't call me every day the way I want you to. My father could say, oh, you don't come past every Saturday and Sunday and just shoot the shit the way I want you to now at this age of my life where I'm retired.
So let's stay right there. Now, hold on. Let's stay right there because I could get right into this shit. All right. So Ish, does your son show you the appreciation that he should right there?
Fuck no. No. N-O. And I hope that his little ass is watching. No, he does not. But I also feel like that is selfishness and entitlement. Yes, absolutely.
Entitlement on Isha's part because or is it entitlement on his part?
It's entitlement on his part.
Right.
Because
Ish. So my question then to you is, what does appreciation from your son look like to you? What do you need to feel appreciated?
For me, what it would take is just acknowledgement of the things that I have laid before him as far as what I did attempt to teach and what I did attempt to give to him, whether it be mentally, whether it be just whatever, like acknowledgement of the fact that I gave him some gems and for him to take heed of that. For me, and in the position that my son is in right now to this day, that would be enough appreciation for me. I don't need anything extra. I just need him to acknowledge what he was taught and to move out on that. That would be appreciation enough for me.
And how long and how many times do you need that to feel continually to feel appreciated? Because what if he displays that appreciation? Mom, you know what? The light bulb goes off. Ding. Mom, you know what? I get it. I appreciate the groundwork that you have laid to help me to the point where I'm at. I finally get it. I understand exactly what you was trying to instill in me, and now I'm moving in that direction. What if 2 or 3 years goes past? Do you need that reassurance again?
My reassurance is going to be, honestly now, my reassurance is going to be his movements every single day. He don't even have to do anything. I can just see it by the way he moves and by the way he operates.
I think you do have to do some things. I think it's not just seeing in your character or how you move. I think it's because this is something that, I'm dealing with now. So I know that it's important for me to give my mom a certain amount of time. I know it's important for me to have certain conversations with her, to take her to the movies, to take her out to eat. I know that these things are vital. You're still young, Ish, but I'm saying as you get older, I know that these things become more vital.
Yeah, I would agree as well.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, that's it. It's not difficult as far as I'm concerned. I mean, some people may need, not reassurance necessarily, but to hear it often. And their appreciation comes by form or by way of verbal or gifts or, that type of thing. Mine would just be show me.
Ain't that
Show
all?
me.
Ain't that
Yeah.
all girls appreciation? Ain't gifts for all girls?
No, I don't be needing no gifts. I'll be cool. I'll be on chill. I'll be on ice.
So
But
Oh,
Diana said it best, like acknowledge the invisible lessons. And that's basically what I would want from my kid.
I understand. So my question was, you acknowledge the invisible lessons, but how
Mhm.
many times do you as a mother or you as a father or you as a whole are looking for those invisible appreciations? Is it, I can say it once and you're now covered until you're 90? Or
nah,
do you
Nah.
get
nah. It's a continuation. But I
Yeah.
will say that as my son is getting older, and my daughter as well, as both of them are getting older, they're both sparingly re-innovating like things that I told them, and
Mhm.
that is the most beautiful thing of all.
That's it.
lesson learned, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
a telltale sign that your lessons are now being digested and appreciated. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Mm-hmm.
enough?
Yeah, that's enough
Yeah, that's enough.
for now. For
Mm-hmm.
now, because I ain't that
Mm-hmm.
old yet.
For
Right. But I think even still, even still, like they will continuously with those lessons reinvent the wheel. Like
Right.
every single time they will be becoming more and more innovative, more and more like successful in different aspects. And you will just continuously see your lessons blossom, you know what I mean, under that. And that is going to be like the best feeling in the world, like you said it is now. But to continue to see it, even when you're 50, 60, 70, and then it being passed along to your grandchildren, that's how you know it's job well done.
Right.
so we spoke about the verbal or the nonverbal acceptance of the appreciation aspect of it, right? What happens if you have a person that is really not verbal, but they allow their actions to be more telltale sign of their appreciation for the lessons that we've instilled in them? Is that enough? Or do you need the occasional mom, thank you,
And
mom, love you?
no, you're supposed to get thank yous. That's just
Yeah.
common sense.
No, no, no. But let's say because you got a lot of people. We already established that we don't have the lessons of emotional intelligence. So that person may not be intelligent enough to understand that if I just pour these words in here, it's going to take that level of appreciation that much further, right? So you have a people that are not emotionally intelligent to know I got to do that, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if they are just showing and not saying, is that enough, or is that enough? Let's ask that question first.
It's based on who you are. It's based on who you
Mhm.
are and how you receive things. I'm a person of I don't always need thank yous from my kids. I more or less need thank yous from grown-ups. But I don't need thank yous from my kids. I need appreciation in different uh aspects. So it's
Mhm.
like if I just did X, Y, Z for you, don't come to me 2 days later asking for some other shit.
I'm glad.
Facts.
I love how we transition from taking it away from the children,
Right.
because that's a different dynamic.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's take it now. Let's stay on this track and say partners,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
relationships, friendships. What's the difference there? T, you said I don't need that per se from my kids.
Right.
Damn sure need that from adults.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
bringing to you, be appreciative. Don't I ain't asking you to suck my dick, but I'm on a literal.
Nah, I'm asking you to suck my dick.
No, no, not a literal sense.
I was getting ready to say,
Yeah, I should have said kiss my ass,
Right.
but I'm not asking you to kiss my ass. But I'm asking you to be somewhat appreciative.
Facts.
mm-hmm.
Let's cover those two aspects real quick, because I want to hear this.
Yeah.
You want to go, Ish?
I know you could go.
All right. So, my appreciation would be in the way you talk to me, like the way you show respect or the way that you pay attention to the details. My appreciation comes from you paying attention to the things that I say and do, and learning my patterns and learning the things that I need and want all the time. So even if I ask you, just do it. Like, just do it, because I'm
Don't
gonna just
ask,
do it.
so
Like,
you're
yeah,
saying don't ask you what you want. Just do it based upon what you've seen.
right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right.
Pay attention to the details of my actions, of how I like things or whatever it may be. Like, if you know that I don't like pork chops, don't cook me pork chops. That's all. That's
Right.
appreciation to me. That's what appreciation looks like to me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree as well. Appreciation looks like to me. I don't need a big hoopla. I'm not that. I tell everybody I'm very, very shy. Like, I'm really reclusive, introvert in a sense. And people don't understand that because they see me on here, they see a live personality. But in a sense, I'm talking to my two friends, and I just got an audience that's hearing me in the background.
Right.
So other than that, I'm real low key when it comes to things. An appreciation looks like to me is helping me help us.
Facts.
Right? Not helping me, helping me help us. If it's something that you want to do, if it's something that you want to achieve, if it's something that you want to just experience, just bring the idea to the table. Tell me. You already know I'm gonna make it happen. I'm making it happen just because of who I am, right? If it's something that we can experience together, tell me. Don't have me fishing for ideas, because I do get a lot of times stale mind or tired mind or just physically tired where I can't think past my nose, right? But the appreciation comes back. Damn, I see him doing the very things that I know is going to move the needle, and just help me move the needle. Help us move the needle. It's easy. It really is.
But for some people, no, it's not easy. Why? Because they live in a space of
Selfishness.
yes.
That's not
They
sugarcoat.
live in a place of selfishness.
The word.
Correct.
Put the words
Right.
out.
Yeah.
What's the
Living
word?
in a space of selfishness. And when that happens, then you're not clearly thinking about the appreciation part. You know what I mean? Because you're so jaded by the selfishness, and you're so jaded by the what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. And I am, queen mother, you better. Like, sometimes it just happens that way. And that happens a lot of times in love, in partnerships and relationships, and some people can't survive past that.
It's selfishness. It's selfishness, and I don't want to say real, but it's selfishness conscious. Are people
No, it's both.
of their
It's both.
selfishness, or is
It's
it?
No, I
both.
don't think people. Yeah, I don't
I think it's both. Go ahead, Ish.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I don't think it's always conscious, but I don't think it's always unconscious either. I think it's a mixture of both, but I think it all depends on the basis under which the appreciation is coming into play. So if we talking about, like, you taking out the trash, or you taking out the clothes out of the dryer for me, whatever the case may be. But if we're talking about something on a larger scale, you know what I mean, the basis sometimes absolutely changes, you know what I mean, and then it shifts. And once it shifts, you then can't take back the context in which you're shifting it to. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that means that I don't need to show my appreciation for that, because that is something that you were in fact supposed to do. Matter of fact, you're supposed to do all of it.
That's the one.
You're supposed to do all of it now what? You're supposed to do all of it, but I might be able to categorize how you do it, but you're supposed to do all of it.
That's the one right there.
That's the problem.
And that's where it leans, right back into the entitlement, because now you're leaning on the titles. Now you're leaning on the title of you a man. What the fuck? Like, you a man. Just because you a man, you supposed to take out the trash. You supposed to go take my car and get an oil change. You suppose all these things that they put on you just because you're a man and then they won't show you appreciation for that, and they'll just think about it in their mind that these are things that you're just supposed to do because you are a man, the title.
I have
It
no
gets
problem.
lost.
Like
It gets lost.
I really embrace
No,
that.
nigga, you should get a thank you for that at
Yeah.
least.
But you know what? I don't have a problem with, when I say I have a problem with, I don't have a problem with being that man, taking out the trash, getting the cars clean.
Right. Yeah, there's
I don't
no
have a
problem with
with
doing those things,
being
but you still need
I
appreciation for
don't have a problem with giving her things that's going to put a smile on her face. Right? But again, for me, it's the very thing that I said before, help me, help us.
Right.
If you know, if you understand, if you can do it. It
All right, stay
second.
right there now. Right, you're right. It takes a second to do, and stay right there. Do
What
you
the
feel
fuck you
like?
disagree with, Marilyn? You always disagree with everything. Marilyn, go ahead.
But no,
say it in the chat. Damn, you want to write a question. What do you disagree on? Speak.
Right,
Go ahead.
But I feel like, and shout out to Sarah that says I do them all myself, right? Because there are many women that do, and those things are so appreciated because we do them by ourselves. They're so appreciated by the man. You know what I mean? We acknowledge that and appreciate them. But some women who don't do them by themselves, it gets lost in translation.
Right.
But now,
look, fuck all that. Fuck
right?
All,
but I want
to. No. Get wrapped up in this I do this by myself shit. You're supposed to.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. And so therefore we're supposed to do it by ourselves. So we appreciate what I'm saying is we take the moment to appreciate the man more by doing that. It's not like you're supposed to be doing that. It's because we know how to do it ourselves that we acknowledge and appreciate you for even doing it.
I don't believe that's always acknowledged.
Exactly. It's not.
It should be. Right? It should be. Who ain't acknowledging it? There's niggas out here that ain't doing shit. So if you got a man that's taking out the trash, that's going to, take some clothes out the laundry or put them in the washer, whatever the case may be, why not be appreciative of those small acts? That's important.
But that's the thing. If you single, you have no choice but to do that shit yourself. If you in a relationship, the dynamic going to be how it's supposed to be, right?
That's what I was saying, Ish. They're not appreciative. They're not appreciative of those small acts because they think that you're just supposed to do it.
But that's what I'm saying. That's problematic. That's problematic for individuals that, yes, Nell, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're supposed to do this stuff for yourself. This is what we were taught as young women, how to do these things by ourselves, just in case we have to do them by ourselves. So just because we have a man in our life that is actually doing those things, that should very well be appreciative. We should very well appreciate that man just for doing those things, not because he has to, but because he values our partnership enough to want to do those things, to want to say, hey, I know she can do it.
You see that shit now?
Let me take the load off.
Look in the chat. Get your shorty.
I can't. I'm gonna let that go past. My question to the audience is this then, because I love the interaction in the audience. What does appreciation look like to y'all? And we're gonna go down. We're gonna read some of the appreciation quotes as we discuss this. But what does appreciation look like to you?
All right, while you pulling up the comments, I just want to say my last thing on appreciation is, as I'm 43 years old now, my main appreciation is that I'm being heard, understood, and then you're applying to the shit that I asked you to do. That's only. I don't need gifts. I don't even always need thank yous. I need you to do that shit. And then we good.
Yeah,
I don't think they understand that. And that is so minimum, but so important. It ain't about the gifts. It ain't about the thank yous. It ain't about the kiss of my ass. I don't need none of that. Just do the little shit. The little shit is, I'm so appreciative of you just doing the littlest things. If it's going to help us, then help us. That shit helps me so much more. I don't got to do everything 2 or 3 times. I got to take 4 and 5 steps because one step was handled by you, one step was handled by me. Now we doing it together. We can appreciate it together.
No. Can I ask Marilyn a question? Marilyn, so if you're living with somebody and you cook, should you get a thank you since you don't want to thank him for taking out the trash? Should he say thank you if you cooked? What the fuck are we talking about?
That's why I can't entertain that, because a woman, like, if Marilyn, let's say Marilyn's preparing a meal, and Marilyn, we're not picking on you for or putting words in your mouth. We got mad love and respect for you. But if Marilyn's cooking she worked all day, came home, got over and cooked the meal, and the first thing I did, walked in, opened the pot, if she even put my plate to the side, before I said, "Hey, babe," or "Thank you, babe, this look good," or "This tastes good," or even I ate my food, put my plate in the sink, and went upstairs and they said shit to her, her feelings is gonna be in some kind of enraged.
Yeah, I wanna be thanked for that.
Take the trash out because the trash stinks. So we get that forgot anyway.
Yeah, thank you, babe, for taking out the trash.
The actual thing of appreciation and what that looks like. And it could just be a simple kiss on the cheek or a pat on the butt. Babe, that shit was awesome.
And then not only that, y'all, these little things play in and tap into intimacy.
Facts.
Period. It taps into intimacy.
But let's not act like we don't need that. Because
we do need it.
Even if I'm saying let's not play like we don't need it. Like, if I gotta ask them to take out the trash and I gotta be appreciative. No one's saying you gotta get on your hands and knees and bow down and say, "Oh my God, thank you, King Nell, for taking the trash." No, but I'm saying the same thing. I'm not even wanting that. That's why you gotta know your person. But I'm guaranteeing you, if your ass is slaving over that stove after you just put in an 8-hour shift, and I come in, eat the food, walk right past you as if you're not there, and don't say shit to you or acknowledge you, you're going to feel some type of way. I'm not probably going to get a meal for another 2 weeks. Okay. Because I didn't appreciate your presence. I didn't appreciate you doing something that is going to benefit you anyway, because you're going to eat it anyway. So let's stop with this psychological mind warfare that we putting each other through. If you with somebody, you love them, appreciate them. Mm-hmm. Appreciate the shit that they bring to the table, if it's positive, and reinforce that by doing the same things. Okay. Everybody want to feel appreciated, just like Lady B said, and everybody's level of appreciation is going to look different. You might need the kiss on the cheek, the pat on the butt. I might just need you to just be on some chill shit tonight. It could be just that simple.
Right.
Angelia, is there any women that don't feel a sense of entitlement? I'm just asking.
I mean, for me, I feel like there are, but I feel like that at some point in time, that sense of entitlement does creep in, and you got to catch yourself to say, ho, wait a minute, you're a little out of line there. But that's only for the cognizant ones, you know what I mean, that are able to like stop themselves and really
I'm just asking.
See that.
I will also even challenge anybody to say that I'm appreciative, and ask them, well, how are you actually being appreciative? Because we can say we appreciate something. Oh, yo, I appreciate you. But if our actions thereafter
don't line up,
is not showing of appreciation for a person's peace, then can we really say that we are moving in an appreciation form at all ways? Because 9 times out of 10, all of us fell in that aspect. Because somebody could say your presence or your presence or how you moved in this moment got on my motherfucking nerves, and I'm not appreciating that. So we got to be cognizant of the things that we say. Right. We can move and say, I'm always showing appreciation to people. Kudos. I'm sure that's true. And I'm not picking apart nobody's comment. I'm just speaking on a whole standpoint. But we got to understand what appreciation looks like to everybody, because you can tell me, I appreciate you. That sounds cool. And I'm going to say thank you. But my level of appreciation might just be, as long as you're not working my nerves, I'm Tahid. Right. And I'm very appreciative of that.
No, I need a back rub.
That's the appreciation level.
Yeah, I need physical touch, man.
Or that's your love language.
Yeah, I need physical touch, man.
I
Don't
need
just tell me thank you or say that you appreciate me. I need you to put your fucking hands on me. I need physical touch.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Show me some leggings, and I'm very appreciative.
Angelia, what I was saying was I understand that you didn't know that you act like that until somebody told you. That's a female trait. And I'm not saying that to bash y'all. It's just the way that y'all were conditioned.
Is it?
Yeah. They were conditioned and raised that way.
All right, but all right. So are we is it not our job also to be cognizant of our presence? Should we not?
No.
No? You don't think it's a responsibility of our own self to be cognizant of our behaviors in and around our
not women?
Okay.
Well, it should be for sure now. I get what you're saying.
I'm asking, is that not a real thing?
Right. That should be a real thing.
Should be a real thing.
It's not.
Because I just don't think people step outside themselves enough.
It's not even stepping outside themselves. No? It's what I'm conditioned to see, want, think, whatever. People, some people are in that phrase of a nigga supposed to give me money. Right. A nigga supposed to pay my bills. Right. Whatever it may be, wherever their shit lies, that is how they are conditioned. So they can't even see it.
I agree. But that's what I mean. Step outside of that. Step outside of your thoughts, your mind, what you were used to seeing and feeling. It's okay once you step outside of that, because then you're going to feel something different, and it might be unknown, uncharted territory for you. You know what I mean? Because you might be conditioned to be a certain way and to act a certain way and to do things a certain way. But once you step outside of yourself, I promise you, on the other side, it's going to be peace and harmony, and it's definitely going to be a lot of things that you might not have seen. Right. Period. Might not have seen, might not have felt, might not have experienced. Like, we hold ourselves back a
lot. No, I want to ask you a question, because say you may know particular females that have been taken care of their whole life, and then they break up with somebody and then they get with the next dude. Do you think they're going to show appreciation for the next dude taking care of them? Or are they just going to continue to move about how they've been moving?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Great question. Because I'm thinking of it, not even from the standpoint of just taking care, like the monetary portion. I'm just talking about they get into a new relationship and it's a lot different than what they were before. Right. The whole dynamic of it is different. They're showing them things that they have never experienced. They're giving them a whole different vibe, and they don't come to appreciate that because they're so wrapped up in this world of hurt that they've been through before, that they want to put you in that space of, oh, you're going to hurt me at some point. I'm just waiting to see when. Right. Instead of living and enjoying it. And just enjoying it. And then if something happens, it happens. But they don't enjoy it. They don't live. They're so consumed with this motion of this hurt's going to come at some point, that I gotta marry you against everything else that was before you. And that's so detrimental, because what you're failing to do is you're failing to appreciate the presence that I'm trying to bring into your life with new energy, a newness, a new perspective. And you need to appreciate that you got yourself up out of that, or you left that alone to experience something new. So treat that and entitle yourself. This is where you should be entitled. I'm entitling myself to experience this newness in its raw, truest form, so I can appreciate everything that is of it, instead of trying to find holes, trying to discover this, that, and the third, instead of living and enjoying it. That hurts so much.
Yes, it fucking does. So much. Yes, it fucking does. No, my last question on this now. Say when you go out with a female or whatever, right? You primarily is the person always driving, right?
Nigga, am I the person always driving? Primarily, 1,000,000%.
So has a woman ever told you, thank you for driving?
No.
Like never.
Case closed, man.
Now, like no.
Check,
So we got out
please.
the car. I shut the door. We locked the car, and they said, "Oh no, thank you."
Check, please. I'm out of here. Check, please.
For driving, and I'm not. You know what? I'm not even conditioned to look for a thank you for driving because that's what we support. We're just known that this is your job. It's your job. It's like waking
Well,
up.
who gave y'all that job?
That's what I mean. It's not our job.
First thing you do when you wake up is you hit the bathroom, you piss, and you brush your teeth, wash your hands, brush your teeth.
Some people don't do that.
But getting in the driver's side car, getting in the passenger side is so foreign to me. I don't know what that feels like.
Right.
Oh,
It's the simple shit, ladies.
My woman ain't gonna call me and ask me, "No, can I take your car and get it washed? Can I fill your gas tank up?" No, and it's cool because it is what it is. I'm doing for her, but I don't know. I don't receive that, but it is what it is. But should we be receptive to that? Should we be looking for that? Not looking for it because I know we shouldn't be looking for it. But should that be a thing?
I believe it.
People in the comments, should that be a thing?
I don't believe it should be a thing unless it's not a thing. Unless you don't acknowledge that I'm the one that's always fucking driving. If you don't acknowledge that I'm doing this, then it's a thing. Like, acknowledge that I'm doing this.
You know what I think, and what we're saying to everybody is the acknowledgement ain't always got to be a thank you. It can just be an appreciation of doing taking another step. And the other step could be, all right, if I'm driving, pick out the restaurant, right? If I'm driving or I'm doing this, I'm driving, I'm paying, I'm doing all this, taking whatever, offer up some suggestions.
No, it's real simple.
Just be available for us.
No, it's real simple. If I'm driving, put your hands on me.
You want to be rubbed?
Fuck? Yes, I want to be rubbed on. What are we doing? I don't mind driving you. I'm driving you cross country. You can't rub my fucking thigh.
We saying that, then just put your head on my lap. I wear a lot of joggers, so it can come down easy.
This is crazy, man. I wouldn't mind a female driving, Helen. Why do I gotta be the one that drive every fucking single solitary goddamn time?
But you know what? I know we read the public service announcement, and this ain't none of that. This ain't us backtracking or nothing. This is just more of an understanding to help you understand or get a different appreciation other than your own self. Right? Like we live in our minds 24 hours a day, 365, however long you've been on this earth. You've been in your mind living with that for your whole life. We're just saying, here's another gem to take in and appreciate from a different perspective. Okay. Not everything that we say has to hold weight in your life, but it's just a different perspective to sit and understand. Like, okay, I didn't think about this. I didn't think I liked alligator, but now that it's sitting in front of me and it's fried, it looks like shrimp. I think I might like it. Let me try it. Put a little ketchup, hot sauce on it. Shit tastes good. It's just that simple. Everything ain't always meant to beat nobody down. I see emojis. I see certain things in the text that is almost trending like it's bashing. No, it's not. It's picking apart certain things that will help us to see a different perspective. That's all. When a person cares, they open their mouth.
Shout out to Helen. Shout out to Helen. Rub my head, both of them. Rub my head, both of them. Both of them.
I can't. I can't.
But that's all it is. It ain't no smoke with nobody. It's just more or less just giving different perspectives and opinions. This is a conversation. This is friends amongst friends having conversation. It's like us sitting in the backyard and we just vibing out. That's what it is. I should take it no type of way.
What's your last word, Ish? What do you need for appreciation? What shows you appreciation? What is your thing?
Equality.
Okay.
Oh shit.
That's what I need. Equality. We are on the same playing field. If you don't feel like I am on the same playing field as you, then it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Equality for me. Equal listening space, equal feeling space, equal expression space. You know what I mean? Just equality for me. That's what appreciation means to me. Let's be a team. Let's be a partnership. Let's be on one accord.
What's up, man?
My birthday on Saturday.
I'm scared. Nell birthday on Saturday, but I'm scared because
I can't wait to see the appreciation.
Why you scared?
I'm scared because it's the shit starters time. I'm out of my sparkling wine.
Damn,
and I don't know what's coming because every time we get in this hot seat, we always crying, angry. I don't know. So I'm scared. I'm scared.
All right, I don't think I'm gonna make y'all cry tonight, but this is something that is majorly important, I would say. So I want to first start off by saying shout out to everybody that watched Intimate Conversations and subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. There will be a new episode dropping either tomorrow or Tuesday. But as we get into ideology, I want to say I have to break down all these stereotypical ideologies that are going on in life and that we can debate about and see a different side of. And there's this one thing that men and women say this to each other. So this is not just a woman thing. This is a man and a woman thing. And it goes a little something like, you made me this way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that my stance on this is that if you allow somebody to change your character, that kind of says a lot about you. And you could probably, take it as far as I might treat you this way, or I might take a step back from you. But for you to change your whole way of life because of what somebody else did to you or how somebody else treats you, that shows that you're not secure in knowing who you are as a whole. Maybe, probably. I'm just saying, I'm asking. So my question to y'all is, what are y'all thoughts on you made me this way? What's up?
Who's that there?
I hear it all the time.
You made me this way.
I hear it all the time.
And if we could break down the context of that, T, are we saying like, I am the way that I am because you did X, Y, and Z, so you made me this way.
Facts.
Okay, shift and blame.
Facts.
I am doing this because you are not that. So because you are not that, you made me this way. This is why I'm behaving this way. Okay. Facts. I got it. That says so often.
The lack thereof of taking responsibility. You see it all the time.
Right.
It's the clear thing of never wanting to be at fault.
Right.
We don't want to. It's a number of times we don't want to hold ourselves accountable because it just don't feel right. We always got to have a reason why somebody made us the way we are.
Right.
But the telltale sign is you did that. They didn't. How could you allow? You say you're in control of yourself. You're independent. You got you is what it is. If you allow somebody to take you there, then you ain't got control of yourself. You are dependent. You're depending upon that person giving you that battery in your back. So I don't know. It's blameless talk or blame filled talk, not blameless, but it's total blame. Like everyone takes
No. Have you ever heard it before? Have you ever said it before?
heard that shit like earlier today. Like
You said like every other day. Did you say every other day or every day?
every 5 minutes. Fuck this.
Every 5 minutes.
Nah, just we hear that all the time. You made me this way. I didn't make you no way. It's like at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like I don't tell people, oh, I'm a monster right now because you made me this way. No, I chose to get in my monster bag.
I mean,
I chose to respond. That's why I tell people, if you don't want me to respond, don't ask me a question. If you don't want me to give you the answer that I'm giving you, don't ask me. Because I'm giving you me, raw and uncut.
Right. And I think it's important for people to stay in their truth, right? To stay in their own space. Like, and honestly, I'm not even going to hold you. It's easy for us to be like, oh, he doesn't like it. So, I have to alter this and I have to be a certain way. And sure, we can change some of the things that we have about us that might be problematic. We can see some signs in ourselves that could use work, that may need some change. But when you get to the core of who you are and you start changing that, that's when it becomes problematic. Like you can't change who you are as a person, your core values, or what it is in your beliefs and all of that shit to appease somebody else. Like that's craziness, because you are ultimately then becoming someone else. You're becoming them and what they want, like a puppet almost.
All right, so Ish, I got two questions for you. The first one is, have you ever heard it? Have you ever said it?
I have heard it. I have never said it because I am one of those individuals that I can stand on any behaviors, any reactions, any way that I react. I am good to be able to be like, all right, I can stand on it. So I'm not necessarily one to open up and just be like, okay, you made me this way. Like I can stand on my reaction to certain things, you know what I mean? But I've heard it a lot. And a lot of times that I have heard it, it is by, sometimes, the actions that I have displayed. You know what I mean? Some things that I could change or work on or whatever the case may be that might be out of the ordinary, not my core values or anything like that. So, it's either I can change and work on those things, take heed or whatever the case may be, or I could be like, no, those are my core values and I'm going to stick to that. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, I'm sorry.
All right, the second part of this is, and I'm not a woman, so I need you to, after you do your answer, I need you to propose this question how a woman would. So, my question to you, there's a song lyric, that goes something like, once a good girl goes bad, she's gone forever. So, is that the basis of a woman transforming herself and her characteristics and how she moves and how she gives love and how she receives love, all because of the actions of a man?
Yeah. Yeah. If y'all can remember, like when I first came on the show, I remember saying it's like I'm a lover of love. No matter how I've been done, no matter how I've been treated, no matter how people have moved out on me or whatever the case may be, I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to love the same. I'm still going to open up the same. I'm still going to be receptive to that love. You should never allow somebody else's actions to make you love a different way or to be a different way. It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt the other person. It hurts you. It blocks you. It blocks your blessings. It blocks your love and receiving. It blocks the individual that's standing there ready, willing, and able to provide, to protect, to do whatever. And I feel like the person that stole your joy in the first place shouldn't have that precedence over who you are and how you move.
All right, so
but it happens a
Right.
lot.
More than a fucking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Every fucking day.
Yeah.
So Ish, what is that on the reverse end? Like what is that as women? And y'all can chime in the chat as well. What do y'all feel like y'all might do or have said, or just your actions or behavior that would force a man to, move in that action?
What you mean?
Like, what would it be for a man to say, you made me act this way? What would you did? Like, give me an example of something that you would do that would force a man to, say you made
Say
me.
that. Well, you act like this. Well, you weren't receptive to how I want to move. Like if you weren't receptive to how he's moves, his thoughts, his ideologies, his behaviors and all of that stuff. Instead of being equal and understanding that we are two different individuals, we might think differently, we might feel differently, instead of understanding that he's imposing, hey, listen, you not acting this way, you're not doing this, so this is why I'm moving this way, this is why I have to shorty who listens and who bends, and you know what I mean, and who whatever the case may be. So sometimes it's just that situation where it happens that way.
All right, so now what happened to now?
I'm right here.
He's premiering on. He's premiering on July 8th. Nell's prepared
Nell's
on
prepared
July
on July 8th.
8th.
He's in preparation mode for make it make sense.
Yeah,
I need one of
Nell.
them t-shirts too now.
Nell, I want to ask you.
Size small, please.
I
Gotcha.
I want to ask you now. Have you seen more women more than not be jaded because another man made them that way?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, absolutely. I've seen that. Um, it almost feels like it's not a good feeling, for some guys play on it, because you'll have some guys that'll play on it and say, "Oh, he wasn't worth shit. I'm this, I'm that." I don't like to do that
Right.
because
That's called dirty macking, by the way. Go
it is, but you
ahead.
never, know both sides of the story. You never know the angles, and people just ain't the right. It might not just been the right mix. People vibe with whatever they can. Like, you get the person that you can vibe with, and there's a different vibe, and it could be the whole total same situation, and just a whole different vibe with the other person. And I just think once we find the person for us, we got to make that work instead of trying to find a likeness in them that you've seen in someone else. Right?
Mhm.
Each and every time that we have an opportunity to cross paths with someone different, we need to treat that person, that entity, totally different than the entities before us, because it's unfair for us to hold them hostage to someone else's behaviors or lack thereof.
Mhm.
Right? We all have our radars up, and we all are suspecting of anybody that's coming into our lives new. But if you're allowing yourself to be in that realm of newness, then be in that be in that newness. Figure out what that newness looks like for you. Stop allowing yourself to allow past hurts show up on this person.
Right.
That person didn't get that to you. That person is not responsible to to answer to those past hurts. It's that person's job to figure out the new you, and you figure out the new them, and make it work in the newness of you guys. So I just always I think like that. Like that's why when if I'm talking to somebody, or if I ever had dealings with somebody, I don't care about your past relationships. I don't care that none of that. I don't even like being asked, well, what happened to your last relationship? It's what does that matter?
Right.
I'm here with you. We together. It doesn't matter what me and the person before you went through, because that's not what we got going on. Because
Mhm.
people try to live in that live in that. Oh well, that would happen with them. So let me see if this is going to happen to us. And
So let me ask
we
y'all
go and
something.
it.
Go ahead. Ish.
So let me ask y'all something, and now just pretty much piggybacking off of that, like as men, and you encounter this, what direction do you guys go in seeing that this is happening and this is what you are coming into contact with? Does it alter how you proceed in any way? Or does it alter how you love in any way?
I'm gonna be completely. If I like you, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care about what your past was. I don't care if you think you're fat. I don't care if you think you're ugly, bald head. I don't care. I see what I like, and I'm moving off of that.
Right.
Right. I'm moving off the sheer will of me liking you, me now talking to you, me getting the chance to understand you, and I'm liking that, and I'm rolling with that. And I'm living my life with me and you. I'm not worried about outside influences. I'm not worried about who you was with before. I don't care about why it didn't work. I'm giving a fuck about how me and you gonna make this shit work. That's it. That's how I choose the one. I don't care about none of the optics. Because at the end of the day, that's why I said before, I don't show out for social media when it comes to relationships, because ain't nobody going to check you when you getting on my damn nerves but me. Ain't nobody going to tell you to calm the fuck down and chill when you getting on my nerves. I got to do that. So I'm not worried about any of that. I'm worried about me and you figuring it out and making it. That's my biggest plight. Us figuring it out and making it to eternity. That's my goal. That's my goal.
All right. I just want to say, nothing that you do or say or any of your actions is going to change the way that I feel about love or the way that I move when I'm like in love. You can't change my core. I'm just going to change you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Simple.
It really is that simple. And y'all and I think
It is.
y'all say y'all try to figure us out. Did you hear what that man just said? Nothing can change his views on what love looks like and feels for him. Only thing I am going to change is the person. So when it ain't, if this shit keep giving me problems, this car keep giving me problems, I'm not going to sweat it. I'm going to go get me the new one. I'm going to get me another model that may not give me the problems. I don't love this car no less. I just don't got the time for that.
Facts.
And it's just that simple. And it may seem like we running from different women to women. No, I want to be with you, but you don't want us to be, because you giving us the fucking wildness.
Right. You're creating the problems that are not even there.
If I'm in the space that I'm in right now, if I entertain drama and nonsense, it's because I want to. Because I'm quick to say, please move the fuck on. If I am not what you want and I'm not giving you what you want, please go about your
Go
business.
about your business. It's
And
okay. It's okay, but people don't understand that.
I'm all about that peaceful part of my life at this part of my life, because I'd much rather you find what you want to find, because I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be cool. I don't
But
hold
I
no.
think some people now are so afraid of letting go and moving on that they won't do that. But instead, it'll be the continuous friction. You know what
So
I mean? Because
if you're afraid to let go, right? If you're afraid to let go and let bygones be bygones, how can you not be afraid of the bullshit that is going to push somebody further and further away from you?
Not only that, is like, are we living in fear every day?
some
What
people
kind,
do.
what
Some
kind
people
of
do.
what
Some
kind of
people live
way
in
of
fear
life
every
is
day
that?
because they don't know if they're going to say the right thing, if they're going to do the wrong thing.
But
Like
what kind of life is that though? Like,
it's not a good one, I'm assuming.
yeah, I'm not doing that.
You,
I don't got
we
time.
Make
talking.
it make sense. Make it make sense.
I don't got time.
We talking detail. We talking length is always right there. We talking detail. We talking length about some of the things that just like grinds our gears and scuffs our boots. But you got to put it in some of the most idiotic and most basic terms,
Facts.
right? If you say to me, I want to talk to you more, but you be at work and I don't know when to call you, then you really don't want to talk to me more.
Right.
I gave you the phone number to call.
Mm-hmm.
So if you choose not to use it, whose fault is that?
Mm-hmm.
Not mine. It's yours. I use this alliteration a lot, just in life, even in my own brain. Eesh. When you go to the bathroom, 100% of the time, you are sitting down. Even if it's a squat, it's still the sit down motion.
Yep.
98% of the time when I go to the bathroom, I'm standing up. It's that other 2% when I'm taking the shit that I got to sit down.
All right.
But the end result is always the same. It's coming out. That waste is coming out of us.
Mm-hmm.
So that just says right there, we are going to do things different, but the end result should always be the same. If I give you
Thanks.
something, utilize it. Don't use it against yourself to antagonize yourself and hurt yourself even more. Don't use those issues to create more issues for yourself. Use those things as a help to get you what you want.
Not
If
a
it's
Hold on
hindrance.
now.
what
Right.
I'm giving you every resource to get to me.
Right.
Hold on now. Janine said, I can't fucking see the
So
comment.
Janine says sometimes it's not fair of letting go. Is if you
Mm-hmm.
love someone, it's not easy. You want to try and work, but each
All
have
right.
to listen to each other.
All right. I wanna say on that, I'm not mad at somebody trying to work it out or still wanting to be with that person, but the other person has to be there too.
Mm-hmm.
If the other person isn't there trying or willing to wanting to work it out, then at some point you have to let it go.
Or
Right.
or it can't be a thing of I want to win the argument. Are we
Mm-hmm.
talking just to win the argument, or are we talking just to really get our points understood so we can fix it?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just doing all this to get your point across and get another notch on I won this argument,
And
then
I'm
you're going
right.
about this
Right.
all the way wrong.
Right. Right.
All
Um,
the way wrong.
Right.
If you
I
say
think
you care, then
I think somebody in the chat had posted this or said something about this, but I want to ask Ish. Ish, isn't there times where both of you do want to work it out, but it don't work?
Right. But then that's when it has to be a point like, we're great in some areas, but we're just not great in all areas. And we have to know when to gracefully bow out to just say, hey, listen, this is, we love each other. We want this to work. We even have a passion to try to make this work for, whatever reason, a greater goal. We want to try to get to one accord or whatever the case. It's just not working. Then that's when you have to gracefully bow out, and you just have to be like, you got to take notes. Like, you got to know, like, hey, listen, this is just not adding up. This is just not right.
Ish, guess what? You about to hate this one. You about to hate this one, Ish.
Oh shit.
Guess what?
What?
Y'all might be able to just be friends.
But
No,
see,
come back
but
now.
see, but see.
Come back now.
Now get your ass back on the screen.
You might just have
Get
to just
get
be
your ass back on the
friends.
screen.
The
And
fuck?
we listen, we talk about this conversation every single week, every single meeting, every single everything. The fact that people still love their exes and still want to be with their exes and can't
No,
let
not
go or
want to be
still,
with them.
well, no, but still
We
hold
just
a love for them or
we can
whatever the case.
agree. We can agree that we don't work as a couple, but we
Nine
can
times
work
out of ten,
as
one,
friends.
I know, 9 times out of 10. And what did we learn out of that? 9 times out of 10,
I don't
one
know what
party.
you heard, Ish.
nine times out of 10, one party
That's
ain't
not
there.
true. Ish, that's not true. I'm friends with all my exes.
Right. T, you are an exception to the rule. But 9 times out of 10, we've discussed this in a whole. T, you are an exception to the rule that typically there is one party who is still holding on, that is still have that love, that want, that desire, those thoughts, or whatever the case may be, that they haven't just quite let go of it yet. We've discussed that. And so it's difficult to be in that friend space because of that.
Let's stay right there, Ish. That's called being a grown up. That's all.
Well, yeah,
Be a grown
but
up.
I mean,
you have to understand that. Yeah, I might still want you, but this don't work, and she don't want me back. Can you still be her friend now, even though you still want her? You can if you're a grown up and you know how to channel your fucking emotions and your fucking brain.
Right.
that is not going to happen.
But let's look up the calculations to understanding and operating and functions of the brain and of, like, come on, let's be realistic. That ain't happening.
Ish, we're being very realistic. The men on the panel say, I have no problem. I'm friends with my ex.
I'm friends of my ex. Y'all do.
But I don't harbor no ill towards you.
Right.
Nonsense. I love you, and then hate you at the end of the day. That doesn't just fix with me.
But that's what I'm saying. Most people can be cognizant and they can stand on the decisions that they make. Others can't. Others make the decision and then they double back and be like, oh, well, X, Y, and Z. That's the point that I'm making. We're not being realistic No, not you. But I'm just saying people in general, not what y'all saying whatsoever. But I'm just saying, like, people are not being realistic with themselves. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I made a decision. I am going to stand on that decision. I am not then going to double back and say, oh, well, hey, you know what? I feel like I just miss you so much. And I love you so much. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Why, if you part of that's friends and you part of that's no hate, no enemy, why we have to make it weird in the sense of now years later, all this got to come out and it got to be disrespect? Why do that happen?
Right.
Why do people?
That's what I'm saying.
I just don't understand that.
That's what I'm saying to both of y'all. It's real simple as grow up.
It's time.
Right.
At some point, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I am the problem. If I am still harboring any ill will to somebody who I haven't been with in 2 or 3 years, who is the problem here? And you got to look at that and say, has this been something that has not just started now? Is this something that could have reared its ugly head when we were together?
Mm-hmm.
How can I fix that? How can I do myself a justice and fix this with this flaw that's in me if I have to have an issue with somebody I haven't been in a relationship with for years, that we moved as friends and we've been moving as friends ever since, but now it becomes sticky regardless of whatever the case may be. Right? Like right now, I keep changing my damn head. I feel like I'm
You know what? Now I am like, where's up with these wardrobe changes? Should I have another fucking shirt? Where's my head? Listen, hold up. Wait a minute.
What is happening right now?
Hold up. Because I mean, Nell making me feel fucking inadequate. Like, Nell is making me feel fucking inadequate. Hold up. Because now I ain't fooling with you today.
That's the nervousness in me. It's just I gotta be doing something. But again, as I was saying, I don't part with anyone as an enemy.
Right.
If you still in my life and we cordial, that means because I care.
Right.
I just don't write people off just because it's the popular thing to do because it's trending on social media today. I don't have that type of.
Some people don't know how to do that now. That's
Then you know what?
that's what's
If you don't know
problematic.
how to do that, you know what what I want to implore you to do? Get in front of your feelings and figure it the fuck out. So if you don't know
Hmm.
how to be that person's friend, then go to them and say, I want to be your lover. Because it's clear that you don't
Right.
want to be just their friend.
Just their friend.
It's
Right.
clear that you want to be more than just their person's friend, and you don't know how to
But who
live
be
with that.
honest
Why
like
why
that?
can't you be both though?
But you can. But I'm saying
Why
is
you
people don't.
laughing, Ish?
But some people don't know how
Ish,
to
why you
visit that.
laughing?
Say that. Some people don't know how to visit that and say that. They're allowing their emotions to overrun them instead of saying, I want to be with you. Let's
No,
figure it out and make it happen. They
no,
want
no,
I'm
no, no. What I'm saying is, why can't you still want to be with somebody, but they don't want to be with you? Now you understand that, and now you can just be their friend. Why can't you do that?
you can.
it would
You
be
can.
easy to, but then it's either bruised ego, bruised heart. It's something. It's
What the
something.
fuck is the bruise? Who hit you? Like,
Or why can't it be?
Tally it up
Or
and
why?
watch.
Okay. Or why can't it be? Let me fix me. I. This is clearly where I want to be. So let me go back and get what I want. I don't know how to sit in the background and scream, "Oh, I want this! I
why do
want
y'all
this!"
have so much
I
hurt?
don't.
Why
I
is it
gotta
so much
go get
hurt?
it. It's very so
Why so much
easy.
what?
Why is it so much hurt? Like they saying
I
that some
mean, you know,
one of the sides is hurt.
we can't ever, I guess, is difficult to judge how people, you know, feel, how they take a breakup, how they take a separation,
Right.
how they take
Ish.
living without somebody,
Ish.
especially somebody that they have connections to or that they've
Ish.
built with, you
I
know?
understand that for a limited amount of time. That's not forever. Now,
Right. But see, here's the thing. Even if it's years after and that person is
you
still
still
feeling
fucking hurt?
that,
Why you
that
still hurt?
means that means that they're not
Ish,
processing
can we
it.
stay right there? Why are
Right.
you still hurt? It's been 5 fucking years. Why you
Right.
still hurt?
Because that individual is not being honest with themselves. They're not
I'm
All right.
lost.
processing. They're not dealing with
Okay.
it.
If you're
And
not,
that's okay.
if you're
No,
not,
it's not okay.
No,
no,
I mean I understand it's not okay because you're obviously you know you might be entangled in other things, but you have to then face reality and deal with the fact that you are still possibly in love or you need
then
to deal
go
with
get
those
the
feelings.
motherfucker that you in love with. Why
Facts.
you hurt?
I agree.
You're doing
I
yourself a
totally
disservice by
agree.
they're planning your
But
own mind.
some people feel
Go
like
get
they can
them. Go get her.
right,
Go get
right,
it.
but some people feel like no that they can maneuver around it, that is not what is meant for them. So they're going to try to sweep those feelings under the rug or they're going to try to bypass those feelings or whatever the
That's
case may
their
be.
problem.
Right.
Right.
Their problem is they think they know it the fuck all and they don't.
Not even the
Right.
fact that you think and you know it all. It's the fact that yes, you are allowed to be hurt, but not forever. What the
Right,
fuck?
right. But I mean, it just goes to show you, like when those type of things happen, or you see those type of things, that individual just hasn't moved past that situation or whatever the case may be, and you know, you gotta. I don't know if you allow them space to do that. If
Right.
you what do you do in that case?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it just I think the person then at that point has to question themselves in regards to, hey, what is it that I am wanting here? Like Nell said, well, if that's what you want, then go get it.
But
Go
then
say it.
but
Go
then
do it.
go get it.
Right.
You gotta make sure your behavior is changed. Because that
Facts.
person
That too.
like how
That
you
too.
want this back, but what behaviors have you changed to show that this is what you want?
Hell, somebody's
Right.
questioning you.
Everybody not going to shoot they shot and risk getting rejected. What the
That's a part
I
of
get
life.
it.
Y'all know how many times guys get rejected?
Every day.
I get it. But I think that's the chance that you
I don't
take
give
in love. Period.
Nigga
You
Nell
got to
said,
be
I know.
true to your right. But you got to be true to your feelings. That's the
but
risk that you take in love.
let's keep it a fun. Let's keep it a being, right? Let's say I had somebody in my life, hypothetical. Let's say I had somebody in my life and it didn't work out. I recognized the error in my ways and I fixed my shit and I came back to him and just said, hey, I miss you. I've been thinking about you. I want to correct I want us to have changed behavior. I want us to do this differently this time. And that person says, you know what? It sounds good. I miss you too, but I've moved on. I ain't going to sit up there and then block them on social media and kill them and then be mad at them. I am going to be like, okay, because at the end of the day, I can't hold them hostage for that.
Right. That's understandable.
It's
Yeah,
like,
that's understandable.
it's understandable for everybody.
I know, but Nell, sometimes the heart has no rhyme or reason at times.
Yes, it
And
The
it's
does.
heart,
not, and
no, it doesn't. It
does.
doesn't.
and
Yes,
that
it
might not mean I'm
If
not
you
hurt
think
that they moved
right,
on, but I gotta pick myself up and go
Right.
and keep on going
Yes, the
for
fuck
my
it does,
sanity and also for the respect of them, right?
I totally agree. Totally agree. But what I will say,
Or two, I'm sorry to cut you off, or
that's
two,
okay.
you put it out there. You let them digest it. And if they want to move, then they move when they come back to move. If you say, hey, I miss you, I've been thinking about you, I want us to figure this and work this out, you can't expect for them to say in 2 seconds after you said that, all right, cool, let's do it. If they say, no, I'm cool, but you got to let them have that time to figure it out for themselves and then come back and be like, offer still on the table? Because I've been thinking about you. Can we figure this out? And now figuring it the fuck out.
Right. And I'm definitely going to co-sign you on that, Nell, for sure. But first, you got to have a person that's going to be honest with themselves.
That's why I said
in order to get to that point, that is a magnificent point now.
That's why I
agree with you and all that. But that first has to lay basis to an individual that's going to be real with themselves.
That's why we say we don't kill people over here. I'm not,
and that's why I said grow up.
Yeah, it's time to. At some point, we got to grow up and say.
At some point, we got to fucking grow up.
Because grown-ups, grown-ups understand the error in their ways, and hopefully they correct them, right? Because not all the time are we mature in all aspects of our lives. We could be the grownest person in the fucking world, but immature in some sense and aspects. But then the light bulb goes off. The light bulb goes off, and you say, damn, I need to fix me. Because I see that this me ain't that me for that person. Let me get my shit together so we can be back together. And you know what? You approach the person, they say, yay, congratulations. They say, no, I ain't writing you off. I'm giving you the opportunity to call me back and say, yo, we could do this 2-3 months from now. I don't know. We never But how to live in this space of, oh my God, I can't get out of this thing. Oh my God, I can't. The next relationship I'm in, I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got time to run to the internet and blast that shit's weak. We call ourselves adults and we do all this shit.
I just want to wrap this up and say,
wrap this up. I like this right here. Right now.
This is ideology, man. I just want to wrap this up and say, to say you made me this way is like a cop out and an excuse. And for you to allow somebody to change who you are as a person, who you are, your character, who you are, emotionally, and all the above, you don't know who you are. Take some time and learn yourself and learn who you are and what you want and what you need and all the above. Learn who you are and stop putting it on everybody else.
Don't just learn who you are in 2 days. Learn the fuck who you are.
Yes, and that was the prophet. That wasn't the shit starter. That was the prophet laying them gems.
Like 2 days and be like, I know myself, I'm good. But then it gives weird and
it gives weird. It gets confused now. It gives just all like mind blown. Uncensored Minds emoji.
Okay, what's up now? What's going on?
So
it's on you.
Motherfucker up tonight, huh? So I guess God says stay home. You ain't gotta go on that trip because we talking tonight. So as I said before, I make it make sense. Nell presents Make It Make Sense. This is the book coming out soon, but the show is premiering July 8th. We got a lot of beautiful things going on. My first guest is tapped in. We already told you who that's going to be. We got the incomparable, the amazing, and beautiful Karen D. Nell sitting down with Nell, and we're gonna make it make sense. We're gonna tackle a lot of the topics that has been on the brain. We're gonna talk about some things that she got going on, we got going on, and we're just gonna get into the meat and potatoes. And this is something that's going to be happening at least once or twice. Well, at least right now, twice a month, and it could be a weekly thing going forward. But make it make sense. We'll be premiering July 8th. That is actually my born day, so that is next Saturday. So be on the lookout for that. Um, so I appreciate and thank everybody for doing that. Other than that, this is where we use this time to talk about a number of different topics. And one of the different topics that's out there in the world right now is the NBA. The NBA is doing its thing. I know we typically have Game 7 for these situations right here. Game 7 is on its break, waiting for the next NBA season to take shape. And then we'll be seeing the guys, Mike and T, doing their 1-2 thing. But the NBA is doing its thing. Free agency has hit the NBA world, and people are moving around like nobody's business. Hopefully, your team got the player that has been looking for, or is in prime position to add a nice little piece. I know T's team, the Phoenix Suns, have done an amazing job with not only adding KD at the trade deadline last season, but also adding another perennial All-Star in Bradley Beal. Not too far ago, and then they just signed Eric Gordon today to a 2-year deal. So it looks like the Phoenix Suns are primed to make a nice little run in the NBA this season. The Golden State Warriors, they added Chris Paul. Chris Paul was traded from Phoenix to Washington, and from Washington over to Golden State. So you now have Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green just re-upped for another 4 years, and whoever their center is going to be. So that's going to be a formidable team. A little older, but those guys have been together for a long time, and they know how to win. So, they're doing their thing. The Los Angeles Lakers also have retooled, signing a number of younger players to put around LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So they should be a little bit better than they were in the past. Look out for them. And also, T's guy. This is T's guy right here.
Wait a minute. Watch your mouth.
This is T's guy right here, Dame Time. And Dame Time has requested, if you don't know who Dame Time is, Damian Lillard, formerly of the Portland Trailblazers, or a current member right now of the Portland Trailblazers, has asked the Portland Trailblazers to trade him. And the 3 teams that are in the running are the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks.
Hold on now. Hold on now.
Of your 76ers. What's up, Tim?
Hold on now. Teller made kicks on Wednesday. You'll see the Final Four face-off. And I just want to say that Nell, my brother, and Chris said that my man Dame was trash and all the above. And when he gets traded, I don't want to hear either one of them jump on the bandwagon. I would have put this on record right now. That's what it is.
No, never said Dame was trash.
Yes, you did.
But if he brings his ass to the Sixers, then he's golden with me. Also, James Harden of the Philadelphia 76ers has opted into his contract, paying him $35.6 million. What that means, though, is that he's asking the Philadelphia 76ers for a trade. So it looks like James Harden will be on the move. So this comes at a real pivotal time right now. So you got James Harden wanting to be traded, Damian Lillard wanting to be traded. Also, a slew of teams looking to upgrade their teams and their rosters for a late playoff run and a possible possible date in the NBA Finals. So the NBA is doing this thing right now. We really, 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 really missed Game 7 because we got an opportunity to see exactly what's going on in that world. But as soon as they get back, it's going to be a dope show. Again, as T said, we got Telemade Kicks this Wednesday at 8 p.m. We got the Final Four face-off, so you don't want to miss that. You got T, Chris, Zach, and myself doing that Final Four face-off. So be there or be square. Thank you to everybody who always seems to, not even seems, but everybody who tunes in to all the different things that we got going on. As you can see, not only do we have Telemade Kicks, not only do we got Game 7, us here at Uncensored Minds, but we also got, the thing that T is doing. That's dope. And now we got to make it make sense. So, just keep it tuned. Then head to this channel. We growing. We getting bigger. And before you know, we're going to be running the airways. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. Because you don't want to miss out on any of the good stuff that we got going on. So thank you again for everybody out there.
No, I want to say, hold on. We got to bring Ish back in.
All right.
I want to say that I had changed the name. I didn't want to use TaylorMade Network. I wanted to change it to TaylorMade Incorporated because that includes, everything creative. And I also like the acronym of TMI because that also can stand for, which is going to be the tagline. Too much information is what I always believe in. Information is powerful. That is the key. That is the tool to keep things evolving and moving. So it is now being called TaylorMade Incorporated.
I just want people to understand the beauty of that, right? Because far too often when you have someone who has created something, they want it to just be what they want it to be. But when you have the beauty of friendships, when you have the beauty of just the pure love of just wanting the best for the people that's, in your life that you're associated with, you allow yourself to create these different avenues for everybody to shine. Right. And the moment, sometimes sometimes it don't seem that way in the beginning, or a lot of things are clouding, is being clouded. But as soon as the clouds part, you'll understand why we was doing what we was doing. Sometimes people leave prematurely, not understanding the vision of their own selves, the worth of themselves, and they prematurely break free before they even allow themselves to live in that vicariously. So that's why we always bring forth these type of conversations on the show where we say, don't get tricked out of your spot.
Right.
If you say you 10 toes down, stay 10 toes down. Don't allow somebody to move you off your square because you never know what's behind that door that's going to take you to the next level. So as you can see, we all are now booked and busy. We all are now gathering our coin. We all are now living out our own individual dreams.
Ish, where the fuck is your papers at?
Together.
I mean, I don't know. I got some of these blue cards. You remember these blue cards, Nell, that you said was just so efficient? Yeah, I got
Ball of your papers like this.
Listen, I'm folding them and I'm doing shit with them. Here you go.
Don't worry. These papers is coming out tomorrow. And y'all going to when we do our taping,
I love it. Let's go.
No holds barred over here. Y'all know now ain't got no goddamn sense, so you know it's going to be a crazy thing. We're going to make it make sense. But shout outs to, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to this person right here, because they actually gave me the drive and the energy to bring this to life. Laura, who's typically in our comments. That's what you know her as, Laura Robinson. She is the one who said, you tagged that phrase, you made that tagline yours, and I want to give you something to show you that we care and love you, and we support your dream. And she got this made for me, and I want to say thank you, because this little thing right here helped me to go on and finish writing the book. This right here helped me to now go out there on my own and buck the trends and go on my own faith and go out there and create this show that is going to show me in a different light. So thank you. Thank you to everybody out there in our comments. I know we it seemed like we butt heads and we go back and forth. It's not that. We just having a spirited conversation that's filled with love, and we appreciate each and every one of y'all. Right? I guess God wanted us to have this show. I was not supposed to be on tonight. I was supposed to be on an airplane flying somewhere. Mm-hmm. But the weather didn't permit. The airlines is being stupid, And I'm here with y'all right now, rejoicing and relishing and appreciating. I'm appreciating y'all. So thank you. I truly humbly appreciate everybody's presence, everybody's input, and everybody's love that we receive here at Uncensored Minds. And I know the other castmates do as well.
Right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. Hit the live bell notification, and y'all will see us ASAP, man. Let's get up out of here,
man. My birthday Saturday.
No birthday Saturday, y'all.
No, I said I don't be really wanting no gifts. I just be wanting a little appreciation. Fuck that. I want a gift.
What's your cash at? Make it known.
I want a gift. I want a gift.
You want a gift or you want a cash at?
I want both.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, Ish, here go our spoiled child.
Facts.
I'm the spoiled child of this motherfucker. I want both. I'll take a cash. Don't get it twisted. I'll take a cash app and go and buy a gift with your cash. I can find something to do with your cash.
Absolutely. That shit adds up too.
Get up out of here, everybody. Hopefully y'all have a wonderful, beautiful week. We'll see y'all again Wednesday for Telemade Kicks and again on Sunday for Uncensored Minds. Don't forget to check us out on all of our different ventures that we got going on here. T,
what's up?
Is that Shalimar?
Yeah.
Exactly. So make sure y'all go check Shalimar and T with the intimate
conversations, man.
Intimate conversations. And don't forget also to our Uncensored Minds top members, we got exclusive content coming for y'all too. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, we up out of here. See y'all next Sunday.
Deuces, people.